Oh, boo. Hi. Long time no see. It's been a minute. We're figuring it out though, you know? I had to figure myself out for a bit. Sick. All kinds of crazy shit going on. But I think we're stabilizing. So it's okay. Oops. Oh. Yeah. I gotta clean up the sheet a little bit more. One moment. Gotta add tabs for other shit. Oh, God, it's such a mess. I could have been working on this, I suppose, while I was sick, but barely had the energy to lay in fucking bed. Okay. Anyways, happy Monday. Smile. Hope you're doing good. I'm alright. I'm a little out of it. Gotta wait for this caffeine to kick in, you know? Boy, oh boy. Oh, I don't even know how the fuck I did that. Oh, you can just double. Okay. I'm a genius. Such a genius. I don't even know how I genius. Or whatever. Excuse me. This is probably going to take some hours. Just so we're aware of what we're getting into. Hell, I don't even know if I can finish this today. At least not all of it. But I'm gonna try not to obsess. Just get, you know, get down what I like this year. Maybe any exceptional stinkers. I don't really think I played anything super shit this year. Which is a shame. I think that's my calling. Maybe we can make some time for shitty games this year. Karmazu. What a game. That's the last year game, though. We're not here to talk about last year. We're here to talk about this year. Don't get it twisted. Damn you. Damn you. God, I liked a lot of games last year. Stop that. Worst games. We're not gonna bother with that this year. Or that. I never even did that last year. Or that. Almost done. He's deleting the stuff from last year. Then you guys can watch the rest. Admittedly, not the best idea to keep everything in a notepad file. But, you know, hey, it's not like I was expecting to lose everything. Right? Oh well. Alright. And I'm also going to try and remind myself, there's probably stuff on this list I haven't even put down. Like, I just put Pokemon Pocket on, which I've been playing every day for like months. So, alright. So, we started the year with Metal Gear, right? That took a while. One moment. I think instead of doing the window, I'm just going to do my display. Yeah, because at some point I'm going to be dual wielding here. Dual wielding windows. Yeah, for various things. Alright. Ka-chow. Ka-chow. Okay. So, I gotta reference myself. What if I... Okay, I give that a 7. Agreed with myself. A 9. Agreed with myself. Agreed. Portable ops, I give a 4. I just did that, and I give it a 6 here, so... We'll meet in the middle at 5. I gave 4 a 7. Yep. Peace Walker. I gave that a 5. This should be probably a 6. Because it's quite a bit better than Portable Ops. Still has really bad problems, but... all these 2024 games, am I right? Shh, we'll get to those. It didn't play very well. It was paced like fucking butt. I don't think Ground Zeroes was that bad. Should probably be a 6. I was definitely doing these while doing something else. I can't even fucking remember. Yeah, so it's a 6. Phantom Pain was pretty good. I give that a 7. Checks out. Revengeance. Oh, I didn't even put that on here. How did I feel about this game? I didn't love it, but it grew on me. It's between a 6 and a 7, I think. I was pretty underwhelmed by this game, so I'm gonna give it a 6. But it was also like one of those games that's just like lived in my head for years. Like, oh, it's so good, it's so good, it's so good. There's no way I could live up to that, so. Not necessarily the game's fault. Jewel of Faramore. I saw it. Here it is. I didn't rate this either. Fuck. This was pretty fun and pretty funny. But, you know, it wasn't like blow my mind. Probably a 6 as well. Oh yeah, I should be looking at, I'll just put release dates on the ones from this year. You know what? Fuck it. I'm just gonna put 2024. This is gonna be a lazy sheet. I'm sorry. We'll clean it up next year. Children of the Sun. I did not like this game much at all. Pure terrible game. Kind of agree. Kind of agree. It was kind of fucking annoying. And it, like, those later levels were just like not even fun. And like the story wasn't really any good. I like the style of the game, but like, it's kind of ass. But how ass? It's only minorly ass. Was it portable ops level of ass? I give it a okay, I'm gonna give both of these a 4. Yeah. Portable Ops is really not good. The game kind of fucking sucks. So, yeah. Alright. For the PSP, I'm sure it was mind-blowing, but it has not aged well at all. Children of the Sun, not recommended. Not recommended. Home Safety Hotline. I really like this game. You remember this game? This is the one where you're like a phone operator and you have to like deduce like what creature they are based on like, yeah. Oh yeah, and there was DLC I never played. I think I gave this an 8. It's pretty good. Yes, that was cool. Cool little game right there. See, this is a good workflow we got going here. It was, but that's okay. I like a good weird ending. Okay, Shipwrecked. I spent quite a while playing this and reading about this and getting all the endings and secrets and stuff. Pretty cool game. But the thing with these like AR games, they're like so esoteric, you have to like get with the community with them, right? So like I think the mythos and stuff around it is really cool, but it's too much work for most people. I thought it was worth it, but I think it's gonna deduct a point. Like, I think the package is a 9, but getting to everything is an 8. Very cool game, though. Yeah. Okay, Little Kitty. Banger game. feel like most of the games I like this year are gonna be indie games. They gave us a 3.15. What the fuck is wrong with y'all? Bit too much dialogue. That's fair. It handles like shit. Not really. They gentrified Stray. I'm not even gonna talk about that. I like this game. Very charming, very funny. Doesn't overstay its welcome. Cute, sweet little game. Yes, sirree, Bob. Thumbs up. Adorbs. Okay, Animal Well. All y'all before now that we're in 2024, move aside. Because Animal Well's definitely going to be in my top whatever fucking number of games this year. And this is one of those games that also is very esoteric, but is worth it. Some of the secrets and shit in this game are insane. It was so cool playing through it like while it was new and like people were discovering shit about it. I was like, whoa, awesome. Really cool game. I don't even really know how to explain it. It's like, obviously at its core, it's a platformer. But like, it's very mysterious. You're really unraveling a lot about the world it's in and stuff. It's quite unique. And like some of the powers and stuff you use are pretty original. Like I was doing shit in that game I haven't really seen in other games other than, you know, like Karmazu, which again was one of my favorites last year. So just saying. Wish it was longer. This is like Fez but better. I agree. Yeah, cool ass game. Most def. 3 thumbs up. If Little Kitty Big City is 2, Animal Well's 3 thumbs. Don't ask me where the third one came from. Okay, Marvel Rivals. This must be when I played it in beta, because some of these are just not in order at all. I don't know how I feel about Marvel Rivals. Like, it's fun. You know, I've probably played like 12 hours the past 2 days of it, now that I'm starting to feel better. But it's, you know, I think it's because I'm reliving those Overwatch days, you know, the casual Overwatch. And who's to say, when this game gets figured out, it might be fucking shit. But in the moment, I'm enjoying it, you know, it's fun. It's a giggle. What did I rate Overwatch 1? Probably like a 9. I loved that when it was new. Oh, I have it rated as a 7 now. I mean, that's fair. Over time, it got worse. And hilariously, I was thinking the same thing. Marvel Rivals is probably 7 for me. You know, it's fun. It's not like the best feeling thing. It's not like the best looking thing. But for now, I like it. It's a good game to just put on. Not everything has to be high art or the most addictive thing ever. It can just, you know, you can just enjoy some slop, right? There's nothing wrong with just sitting down and being a fat ass and eating some ice cream. That's what this game is some fat ass ice cream. And I think that's fine. It's not like, you know, Ben & Jerry's, like, or, you know, really expensive. It's the cheap shit. It's like Walmart brand ice cream. You got a craving, right? Indulge. I like it. I don't love it. Okay, Slave 0X. This game was so fucking hard. It's kind of sick though. I doubt we're gonna see a lot of games like this. It's so weird. This was like the beat 'em up that was like tough as fucking nails. And it had like a crazy story and like actual voice actors and so weird. And it's also like a spiritual successor from a game from 1999. Like, what the why? But it's sick. And there were levels of this that were so hard. I had to learn how to use Cheat Engine to get past a level or two. I could not grind it out. I was like, I'm fucking over this, but I want to see the end of it. But, you know, all in all, I liked it. Again, didn't love it. It was so hard. It was insane. You just get like juggled to death. And I was like, oh, okay. It's because it's a beat 'em up. And like, beat 'em ups themselves can already be hard, but like, it was full of like those enemies that just, you know, don't care about hits done or like have moves that have like bullshit hitboxes. And they would just throw like 3 of those at you at once. I was like, what the fuck? So that game is just, it's very unique. You basically have a fighting game character, and then to balance it, they throw all the most bullshit beat 'em up enemies at you. So you're doing like fucking cancels and bursts and all kinds of crazy shit to try and keep up with it. Very frantic game, but memorable. Okay, Mimic Logic. Yeah, it was a cute idea, but it didn't really, what do I want to say, justify itself. 1 rating. Wow, I'm gonna be the bitch that lowers the rating. Sorry. It's, you know, it's not bad. It's just, it's not, it doesn't stick with you, you know? That was, I don't know if you remember, that's the one where you like open the chests and stuff. And they have like puzzles. It's like, which one's lying? What's the lying chest? Cool idea. It's only like a couple dollars. But, you know, it wasn't something that was like, oh, I gotta play more of this. I gotta do more, you know. Had my fun with it for a few hours and I'm good. Okay, Hellblade 2. So Hellblade is weird. Did I rate Hellblade 1? Okay, yeah, I rated it a 6. As, you know, I respect these games, but I don't rate them very highly. I think Ninja Theory has done a really weird thing where the game itself is very middling. So the story's okay and stuff, but like the stuff around it is extremely high quality, especially like for what they work off of, you know, that aren't a huge studio, I don't think. Let's see. Yeah, like 120 devs. That's not that many. But like, you know, their games look great. And again, the audio stuff they've done, ludicrous. That's half the reason why I play them, is to hear the dissociative voices in Senwa's head. Very cool. But like, you know, the gameplay is not really anything crazy. Wow, this one's rated lower. Why? Right, yeah. Almost perfect. Sacrificing the game part of the game. That was the worst part of the first game, was the game. So I guess it's, you know, maybe people wanted more of that very generic gameplay Hellblade had. You know, there were definitely parts of Hellblade 2 that I was like, damn, this is like I'm watching a movie. And like, it's so easy to say that about, you know, AAA games nowadays, but there were actually shots and stuff that were like, you know, like the director sat down and went, wow, this is gonna look cool, let's put this in, or did interesting things with the visuals. So, I don't know, I actually rate this higher than the first game. But as a game, it's not as gamey. I don't know if that makes sense. I like it. I don't love it. But it's right. Yeah, it's like watching a movie. But some gamers are really weird about that shit, you know, like I hate Until Dawn, I hate Heavy Rain. Those are fun. You know, it's not like I'm in a COD duty killing like, you know, 100 dudes or whatever, but it can still be fun. You just have to be in the mood for it. So, yeah, it's good. Not one of my favorites of the year, but it's good. Withering Rooms. This game was also really good. This was the weird, like, yeah, you're the little girl, like, Metroidvania thing. It has an energy about it. It's very scrappy. I think it is ugly as sin. That is its biggest mistake. But it's cool because there's like builds and stuff, and there's like a lot of secrets, and I think it's very atmospheric, which is cool. The story is kind of interesting, which again, how many Metroidvanias can you say that about? Like 3. I think if it looked better and it felt better, because the gameplay is kind of, there's like a lot of rolling, like Souls-like rolling and stuff, and that shit feels really sloppy. I think if that was tighter, this would probably be an 8, but as it is currently, it is a 7. Good, but could be better. I don't begrudge anybody who thought that was like an amazing game, because it has some interesting ideas, but I just couldn't. I think game feel is really important in a Metroidvania. And that one just felt really stiff and fiddly and weird. So, Kitten Burst. Hey, this was the game I played for like 5 minutes, and I think I made me motion sick. Let me remind myself. Yeah. Oh, yeah. This is the one where, yeah, you fly around as a cat. Very... I love the aesthetic. That's what made me download it in the first place. But, you know, the gameplay is very whatever. So... I'll be the bitch. I'll be the bitch. I'll do it. Yeah, I think it's like a... Because it also, like, way overstayed its welcome. Like, way. Yeah. Not my favorite. Kinito Pet. Remember this? I had to do so much research to play this game. I didn't want it to, like, dox me or something crazy. I'd be like, hey, bitch. You got double Z tits, huh? Oh, fuck! I just unplugged my computer. A little, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't want to say overhyped. But a little overhyped, you know? In that aspect of it. There's definitely, like... The community made it seem a lot creepier than it was. Yeah, right. It's It's nefarious. That's why I was like, I gotta make sure I see how nefarious it is. It's acting kind of sus. But you know, these metagames kind of live and die by that aspect. What do these people have to say? Yeah, it's... I would probably rate it a 5. Some cool ideas, but also, like, these people are saying, there's a lot of cliches as well, so, yeah, yeah. Alright, now we're getting to the good stuff, baby. But I'm not looking for, yeah, looking for this game. 9 souls. So, I lost my save on this game, and it makes me very sad, because I loved this game. I was gonna finish this game. This is that Perry Metroidvania from, I think it's Red Candle is their name? Yeah, it says up there. And they did Devotion, I believe, yeah, and Detention. 2 games I also like, but I haven't rated those. See, this one's pretty good. This is like 2D horror game. This one I didn't like as much, but this was the game that got them in trouble because they had a reference to the whatever the fuck the leader of China is, the president of China, Hubert, whatever, and they got like all their shit like delisted, and they got in a bunch of trouble. So, and they're a Taiwanese dev, so you can see the friction there. So I'm always very interested in their games, and so far they've made 3 great games, so more power to them. I have this downloaded. I have 9 Souls downloaded, and I downloaded saves to try and get around to where I was in this game. That's how much I like this game. It rules. Please play it. Please. Very cool, very interesting. Definitely like an aesthetic you don't really see much, especially in a Metroidvania. These guys are still talking about fucking Dynasty Warriors. Jesus Christ. Anyways, that's probably going to be also one of my top games from 2024. Very, very good. Very slept on. Very slept on. You know what? Let's look at their top games of 2024. Persona 3 Reload. Yeah, I rated that. Astrobot, can't play it. Fantasio, I'm working on it. It's not my favorite though. Balatro. Do I even have that on here? Yeah, I do. Okay, alright, okay. We're not gonna get ahead of things. Crow Country. This game really fucking rules. I can't believe you guys are giving this a 3.6. This shit is like... I was really impressed by this game, which is hilarious because I didn't think the demo was that good. But then I came back when this game came out and played it in one sitting. Great game. I wish there were more games like it, actually. Or they make a 2 or something. Pretty, you know, gameplay pretty good. Puzzles pretty good. Characters and story pretty good. It's just really solid. Doesn't overstay its welcome. Gives you some nice twists and turns throughout. It's just... That's a beautiful game right there. Delicious. Delicious. If I could kiss that game, I would. Alright. Mullen Majak. Remember this game? I do. Okay. They rated this fucking game higher than Crow Country. Do I gotta get off this site? What's going on here? This game is not that good. In fact, I would say it's pretty repetitive. I'm gonna give it a 5. There's a lot of, you know... the aesthetic is cool, but God... the gameplay was, like, so... monotonous. FPS of the year? See? Monotonous. Did they agree? Right. Yeah, after 50 or 60 minutes, you've basically seen all the game does, other than the bosses. You know? Yeah. It's a shame. Because it looks great. And the concept is great, but actually playing it is very middling, unfortunately. Okay. Shadow of the Erdtree. Where you at? Tree. Did I rate this already? Yeah. The longer I've sat on this, the less fondly less fond of it I am. I don't think... Let's look at these bosses. Okay, I need pictures, please. Come on. Guys, you're killing me here. I just want a list of the bosses. Okay, this is better. Okay, Dancing Lion. He's okay. This one, not that memorable, actually. Cool swords, but yeah. This guy, I don't even fucking remember. That's bad. Okay, this Sunflower, pretty cool. Hard, but pretty cool, pretty memorable. This guy, I barely remember. I think I died to him like once, twice. The Stinky Man. Mesmer, not bad. Probably the best one so far. Awful boss. Awful bug boss. Awful. One of the worst From bosses I think I've fought in probably like 4 games. I don't even remember this guy. I don't know if I fought him. Cool design on this guy. The flaming head guy. But very easy boss. Too easy. That's just a humanoid. And the final boss, which... if you know, you know, right? I know. And that's why this is a 6. Which is a shame. Because the base game I'd give like a 9. Almost a 10. Almost a 10. Extremely close to a 10, but not quite. So, on the whole, kind of disappointed by that DLC. It's too bad. The new items and stuff didn't even really impress me that much. It was bad. Okay, Tomba. This was pretty fun. Tomba. Where's the remaster? Okay, I already rated this one. That makes it easy for me. 7. It was pretty fun. It's definitely still pretty fresh because it's such a weird game, right? Like, there's just not that many games out there that play like Tomba. Pretty cool. I'm glad I was able to play that last year. Considering most of what I had played on it was repeating the demo disc over and over and over and over and over. So it was cool to see the content that comes after the demo disc. So, alright. This Castlevania collection is really good. Great value. Damn, they rated it really high. As they should. Fucking Dawn of Sorrow and Ecclesia and Portrait of Ruin, but we don't talk about Portrait of Ruin. Pretty fucking good, actually. Great value. Some decent quality of life. Not a ton, but... you know, how much is it? Like 20 bucks, 30 bucks, something like that. 25 bucks. You can get some of the best Metroidvanias of all time for fucking 25 bucks. Crazy. Crazy value. You don't like Portrait of Ruin? It just pales in comparison to these other two. It's more old school, which, I'll be frank, I'm not a huge fan of old school Castlevania. I get it. A lot of people are. That's fine. I'm all about the grinder RPG equipment switching. Love that. And you know, being able to switch characters is cool. It always is in a Castlevania game, which is like the main focal point of that game. But, you know, it is the weakest of those three, but it's still good. I'd still give it like a 7. So, you know. Alright. So, very good game. I don't think I'd put it on my Game of the Year list, because it's just, you know, it's a ROM collection. Let's be real. I don't do that. Same with remasters, unless it's like an amazing remaster, you know, or like changes stuff. Like I would say RE4, was that this year? I think it was the beginning of this year. That would count towards it. Or, you know, like FF7. Those change a lot. Those are like new games. Okay, Lorelei. It's been a long time playing this too. Fucking... what a game. What a game. You have to be a huge nerd or an insufferable cunt to like this game. And I'm both. So, pretty hard puzzle game. I definitely, towards the end, had to look up a lot of stuff. And I had some document that was like 30 fucking pages of like notes. I'm like, oh, this is in this room. It needs this. And I'm like, oh. But man, what a rewarding game. But you really gotta have a lot of patience. Like, a lot of fucking patience. But, you know, if you do, it's gonna be rewarded. And I found this out like 2 months ago. The dev studio of this game also made one of my favorite games. Fucking Sayonara Wild Hearts, which I haven't rated. Idiot. Great game. Really, okay, it's not really a game. It's like, I mean it is, but it's not. It's a rhythm game. But like to music they composed specifically for this game. And then like the game you play are like rhythm mini games that tell the story of the album. It's super cool. Definitely check that out. Anyways, 2 excellent games from this studio. I haven't played these, but yeah, I am a big fan of their work. They make very interesting and unique games, and I'm a big stickler about video game music. I listen to the Sayonara Wild Hearts music outside of the game, so it's good. It's like actually good music. It's a big point of contention. Like, oh, it's got a great soundtrack. Inside the game, sure, but like, can I take it out of the game and still enjoy it? For me, not a lot of the time. That's one of those I can though. So, shit bangs. Okay. Oh yeah. Oops. Helldivers 2. Wow. I was consumed by this game. in the first like third of this year. Very good. Very fun. You know, I think over time the formula gets stale. But that's gonna happen with any game. Excuse me. But, you know, movement's pretty good. Gun's pretty good. Do you still need a PS account? I don't think so. But I think they also don't sell the game in places that don't have a PS account or some weird loophole. So I don't know if that saga ever got resolved, but if I was still able to farm the premium currency like I used to, I would probably still be playing this game. But it just got too tedious and I went, So whenever, like, they dropped that Alien update a couple weeks ago, and that was fun to go back to and play. But it's still very much, you know, the same game. So yeah, the game has battle passes and then a shop, but you can find premium currency in like chest wall playing missions. So if you play enough, you can get everything. And I actually mean that. There's a lot of games that are like, oh, you can earn the currency. You know, you remember like Street Fighter V? Like, you can buy a character with fight money. You can't. Because, like, to get fight money, it takes like a year of playing to get a character. You know, that's not real. In this game, it's pretty real. You know, a battle pass, I think, is like 1,000 of the premium currency. And a single chest can hold anywhere from 10 to 100. And, you know, some missions you can find 3-4 chests. So, you know, it's doable. And the battle passes come out, I think, like every month, 2 months, something like that. So it's reasonable. But yeah, I had a lot of fun. We'll see if I ever go back to it, but I don't have any regrets playing it when I did. Good fun. Very funny. Good physics. Kind of a spaghetti game, but it's fine. Okay, mouth washing. I have a lot to say about this game. First, I think it's overrated. But at the same time, I think having sat on it for a while and lived through the things I've lived through this year, it has given me more perspective on the story it's trying to tell. So I'm still going to be harsh, but I'm not going to be as harsh. Because I think some of the topics and themes it tackles are very dark. And I'm not going to say it's insensitive the way it handles them, but it does almost venture into try hard. You know, like, they just included it to be shocking. So I'm kind of two minds about it. Because, you know, I think it's good that it's tackling subjects like that, but I don't know what it's adding. Other than just, wow, that's fucked up. Wow. Or to, you know, upset people that have gone through experiences like that. So, and as a game, it's very simple. It's a walking sim. I don't say that as a dirty word, but I know that bothers people. They don't want to play walking sim. That's what this game is. But again, I think having cared for someone that was in a fairly similar state to a character in this game, it has definitely made me go, huh, about the events and stuff that happened in it this year. So I don't know. It might be something I have to digest further, to be sure. Because this is also like one of those like, what do I want to say? Video essay bait kind of games. Like, there are so many of those on YouTube. Just discussing the characters and the themes. For now, I would give it a 7, which is an improvement. Before it was a 6. It's going up. I do not think I am as in love with it as others are, but I can respect some of the things it does. So, again, one of the characters in it suffers like a horrible accident and is basically just like wrapped up and can't do anything. And they're basically in a situation where they're all probably gonna die. So, just the psychological horror of thinking about a person in that situation, you know, it's pretty dark. He can't even talk. So, like, you know, it's dark for sure. And again, I took care of someone who was also wrapped up basically from head to toe for months this year. And so, you know, when I think about how he was probably feeling that, I'm like, damn, that would probably really fucking suck. So, you know, that's something I've thought about in the past few months, is that like when you're rating stuff or even just experiencing them, I think mood and experience is really important, you know? Like, if you're trying a new game, but you've had like a shit day at work or something, you don't have as much patience for it, so you might just hate it immediately. Whereas, like, if you had a great day, you know, you might be more forgiving. So, I'm babbling at this point, but you know what I mean. Ratings are quite fickle. Even though I try to be like, my ratings are the best ratings, and I'm always like, you know, life is interesting like that, I guess. Anyways, yeah, play it if you want a walking sim horror game that has some pretty dark topics. All right, Garage. This consumed my fucking life for like 2 weeks. It takes so long to play. So long. And you're this like little fetus man down here. Just driving around on like rails and like talking to a dude here, doing a little quest here. Extremely strange game. I don't even know how it got re-released, so I could play it. Came out in '99 and was like really hard to play. But like the story and shit is super interesting. The world it takes place in is like so weird. Everybody here is like these weird robot fetus people. And then like they have to get fuel from like female robots, which are basically just like pumps attached to their robot tits. It's an insane game. So I respect the fuck out of it, even if playing it is pretty tedious. And like you have to, like there are side quests where you have to fish for like hours. Insane game. Insane game. But again, I can't say I've played anything like it. So pretty good. Pretty good. Not recommended, but pretty good. For people like me. You'll know. You'll know. That did not come out in 2024, sorry. Doll Imposter, I played this for a little bit. Just a little bit. I saw it for a second. Where'd it go? Here it is. So this is, nobody's even rated this game on my site. So this is I would compare it to of Phasmophobia like, but you play it solo. And you live in this house and you have a room with a bunch of possessed dolls. And it's sort of like Five Nights at Freddy's, where you have to sleep a couple nights. And by like the third night or whatever, you have to deduce which of the dolls is getting out of their case and fucking shit up. So like, you know, like maybe the couch is moved, or one of the dolls is shot through the glass so they're dead, or like the other dolls are coming out and sitting together, or like the TV turned on, or the radio turned off, or the lights turned on, and you have to have all of the dolls and their interests and their dislikes and their enemies, and you have to sort of cross compare what is happening in that room to you. So it was cool. I didn't get a lot of playtime out of it, but conceptually it's pretty cool. Even if it is kind of just a wrinkle on Phasmophobia. And it's not a very high budget game either, but you know, I had fun with it. It was one of the millions of horror games I played this year. So, not bad. Not amazing, but you know, it's like fucking $5 or something on Steam. Yeah, $7. So, you know, you can't be too hard on it. I thought it was that point. Oh, that's the cat lady, I think is what you're thinking of. Psycho Pump. This game was very middling. It was a highly rated free game on Steam. So, you know, it's free. But, like, you don't really do a lot in it. If you wanted to kill, like, an afternoon, I guess it's fine, but it's very just whatever. I could take it or leave it. Darkwood. Good game. Hard game. Probably would recommend you just YouTube it. Frankly, maybe that's the game you're thinking of, Darkwood. This game. Yeah. But, you know, pretty good. Also not a 2024 game, but hey. Cat Lady. I never finished this. And I should. It was literally black and white. Looked very textured. Well, I'm sure we'll find it, so. So, since I haven't finished it, I kind of don't want to rate it. But what I played, I would give a 9. It's pretty much just a point-and-click narrative game, but, like, the shit you do in it and the story it's telling are bad shit. I mean, the game literally starts with your character killing herself. And she just owns a cat. I guess that's why the game's called Cat Lady. And then I think it's like the goddess of death or whatever. It's like, hey, bitch, I'm not gonna let you die. And I want you to become my avenger. And your character's like, can I just fucking kill myself, please? And she's like, no. You're gonna do this. You're gonna right the wrongs of all these bad people. By just going out and killing bad people. And you're like, what the fuck? Very weird premise for a game, but it's, I think all of it's voice acted, and it's not animated amazingly well, but the game has crazy energy. And that's what we like. That's what I like. I like a fucking crazy game. Forgot to put these on. I'm talking too much. Streamer, you're talking too much. Darkwood. This is a pretty good game. Cat Lady. Your streamer, my streamer. Okay. Silent Hill 2. So, I adore the first game. First game. Original game. One of my favorites of all time. Actually. Insane story. It's close to the perfect video game, I think. I just adore it. Yeah, combat is kind of whatever, but who cares? The rest of it is just mwah, chef's kiss. So there was a lot riding on this remake for me. And it's Bloober, who, no offense, but has kind of released a bunch of shitty games. Like, actually, let's look at Bloober games. Layers of Fear, boring as fuck. More Layers of Fear. Observer, people like that game. I think I played it very briefly and was bored. Blair Witch, this game sucks. I gave it a 1 out of 5. This game sucks ass. Do not play it. The Medium, I've heard mixed things. I've heard it's kind of fun, but really fucks up the ending. Like, does not understand mental health, like, at all. Just bad writing and just blech. So, didn't bother. And then this game. Honestly, they kind of nailed it. I don't think it's better, but I do think they surprised me. Like, it looks fantastic. It sounds amazing. The combat is improved. It's still the weakest part, but it's, you know, quite a jump up. Kind of got repetitive towards the end. It embellished some parts in a good way. The voice acting was pretty good. And I think some of the endings, especially the ones with James in the car, have some of like the best acting in a video game I've seen. So it's very good. It's so good, I'm gonna give it a 9. Despite it all. I don't know how the fuck... The only thing I can figure is Konami kept them on, like, I wouldn't even say a tight leash. Like, they just had them by the collar the whole time. Because I don't know how the fuck they managed to make this game. Either that or they flushed all the chaff from their studio. I guess we'll see with their next game. If their next game sucks, then it was all Konami. And to be honest, I think it might have been. It might have been Konami, because the way they seem to be handling the Snake Eater remake seems very similar. I think they know people love those games, and if they release just like a shitty, you know, remake, remaster, whatever, nobody's gonna buy their shit again. So they know they have to re-earn our trust. If they keep releasing bangers like this, I might have to bow. So, we'll see. We'll see. Excellent. But definitely the best horror game this year. It's just very, very good. Too many tabs. Okay, Yomawari. Remember this? This was the little girl game. I had issues getting this running. And it would crash a lot. And it was very trial and error-y, but I still had fun with it. I'm a big fan of the like cutesy art style contrasting with the like fucked up enemy design. That's always pretty cool. I think if it was a little less trial and error-y, I'd probably give it an 8, but as it is, it kind of got annoying towards the end, so I give it a 7. But still, I don't regret playing it. It was fun. Until Dawn, man, this game still bangs. I could not believe how much fun I was having replaying this fucking not super amazing remaster. What did we get this one? 2.25. It's stupid, but it's fun and it's savvy. As someone who consumes a lot of horror stuff, these people knew what the fuck they were writing, and they had fun. Like, a lot of the characters are just stupid teenagers. It's so fun. I think this is like probably the best interactive like movie type game out there. There's not a lot, but you know, like Heavy Rain, Until Dawn, and then like Supermassive went and made like 100 more fucking awful games. What? They make Little Nightmares? No, they don't. Oh. Do they own them? I don't know. Maybe they published it. But anyways, super fun. Loved this game. And also when I streamed it, I played it in one sitting again. That's how much fun I was having. So fun. It's so good. I'm not gonna put 2024 there. I should, even though it says, yeah. Super fun. Get some popcorn. Play it, you know, in an evening. Man. What a giggle. Especially, like, having played it once already, I think I was, like, trying to get people killed. So I was seeing, like, people would fall down and shit. It was so funny. Funny game. Okay. LSD. I played this during Horror Month. A lot of these are Horror Month games. This was a confounding game. Like, there's certainly nothing like it, but there's also nothing like, I don't know, taking a lighter and burning your pinky toe off, right? Like, just because it's unique does not necessarily mean it's good, right? Aesthetically, I think it's superb, but actually playing it, you don't really play it. You just kind of are walking around in these, like, fucked up environments, and then getting warped to the next one. And it's just that, basically forever. And it also doesn't tell you anything, so it's an extremely esoteric and unrewarding game. But, you know, if you just want to be like, wow, that's weird, go for it, I guess. So, as a result, I'm left feeling very mixed about it as a game. You know? It's brilliant and stupid at the same time. Oh yeah, RE1, I never finished this. I plan to. I do. For now, I'll give it an 8. I don't have a lot to say other than I'm stuck. And it's hard. But I like it. Glass Staircase. This game was not that good. This was, yeah, the one where you, like, take the pills. And then, like, you eventually go. This was the one I think I got to, like, near the end and I had to restart a big chunk of it. It was really annoying. As a 5er, for sure. Probably my least favorite puppet combo game I played. It's a shame. But, you know, it also had shooting in it, which was weird for a puppet combo game. Oh, there's gonna be a lot of 5s, huh? My Barker's Undying. People love this game. Look at that, 3.47. This game was like a mess. Actually a mess. And I think it's because it had ideas you know, this came out in 2001. BioShock came out in what, like 2007? Great guess. Yeah, so this predated BioShock, but has like the plasmid system. You know, gun in one hand, powers in the other. So it was sort of a pioneer in that sense. But like the level design and shit was awful. The gunplay didn't feel that good. Some of the bosses were really esoteric. And also they had way too much health. I remember just sitting there going shooting them for what felt like 15 fucking minutes. Like, would you just fucking die already? So again, I respect it, but I don't like it. One of the best horror FPS games in history. No, it's not. No, it's not. Those who have played it should stop overhyping it. Yes. That's what I'm saying. If you want to play a good, weird horror game, motherfucker, you should play Malachi. 2.8. You guys are... These are not my people. I do not know them. It gets a 7. This game is insane. Insane. It's like you run around, you turn a corner, and then like a monster will just scream at you. It's like, what the fuck? Insane game. Love it though. And Undying did have good cutscenes, for sure. But there weren't that many, unfortunately, compared to like what I had to play. So I'm left with, you know, being divided about this game again. Unfortunately. Okay, Still Wakes Deep. One of the kids I watch told me before everything that happened that she watched like a Let's Play of this and cried. And so I was like, okay. It's okay. It's okay. Again, like mouth washing, I think it's a little overrated. Which is too bad. Because there's a lot here I like. I love the Lovecraftian elements. I love the body horror. Conceptually, it's amazing, but I don't think it really manifests itself. Some sequences are interesting because the quote-unquote enemies of this game are your character's on an oil rig, and some sort of, I don't know, thing from the ocean starts coming up and sort of possessing the people that live there. So you'll have like meat men crawling around, but they're talking like your old friends because that's what they are, which is cool conceptually, but the sequences end up being very uninspired. It's like, oh, walk a few steps and crawl under this thing while he goes blah, 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 blah. There's only so many times you can do that before it's not scary and it just gets old, right? And that's for me, as an extremely jaded horror enjoyer. Nothing scares me anymore. I wish it did, but that might be a me problem. And also, the story, there's an overarching story. Your guy is like a husband, a dad, I think, who's like in trouble and comes to work on this oil rig to redeem himself or get money or something. And so you're kind of unfurling his relationship with his family as it goes along, and the ending is, plug your ears if you don't want to be spoiled. Okay, I'm gonna say it now. He sacrifices himself to stop this horror from spreading out past the rig, right? So, you know, there are elements here that I think if they all came together would be an excellent game, but they don't quite get there. I think if I had more development with his family or something, that would have hit me harder, but as it was, I was just kind of cold. I'm like, oh, okay. So almost an excellent game. I can see why people would like it, but for me, it was just not quite there. I'd still give it a 7. You know, it's good. but not as good as I was hoping, unfortunately. Helltown, remember this game? This weird little run around and talk to people and deliver mail. This was a fun, strange little game. Yeah, so you start your first day as a mailman, and you come to this town and everybody's acting a little weird, and it turns out they're preparing for like a big ritual sacrifice, whatever you want to say. They basically sacrifice outsiders that come in. So you're figuring out what the hell is going on, and there's like some entity that's driving all this, and it has multiple endings. You know, one you conquer the entity, one you think you conquer it and then it kills you, one you side with the entity. It's cool. It's not very long either. I think I did most of the endings in like 4 or 5 hours, so it's neat. I enjoyed that. I'll give it a 7. And it was recently remastered, which is what I played. It's like Helltown Rebirth or something. So I gotta see. Uh-oh. Helltown Steam. Yeah, Revival. That's what we're looking for. Oh, I guess it's... Oh, okay. It was from this year. The original was in 2017. So, sort of updated the graphics and fixed some bugs. I think it added more story too. So, cool game. Cryostasis. What a weird game this is. So, number one, playing this game is a goddamn nightmare. It is like not available like anywhere. And then like it crashes a lot. I remember I had to do like a bunch of weird shit to get it to not crash on modern hardware. So this is a horror FPS that takes place inside of a tanker. Jesus Christ, I'm trying to remember all of the details of the story, but it ends up being quite interesting. Your character is able to sort of, I don't know how to explain it. You basically like fucking astral plane into the past as that corpse. So like, you know, you're in the tanker, let's say you see a body. Your character can possess them before they were dead and change the outcome of what they were doing so they live. So like maybe they pull a lever and then the room they're in doesn't flood. So you're altering time in history as you progress. And the game starts with you're on a sled being pulled by dogs, and you fall into like a crack and you like die, I think. So you're progressing through this very strange story, figuring out like how this tanker crashed. And you find out that like the captain and the first mate and like the engineer or something all have like clashing ideas of what to do. So they sabotage each other, and that causes the ship to like capsize or something. It kills the entire crew. So you can, one of the final things you can do is you pick one of those three that you think fucked up the worst and go back and fix their mistake. And then, this is insane, the god of time is like, okay, fuckhead, enough. You are doing too much. Stop it. So you have a boss battle with the god of time, who's like, stop. And so obviously you don't kill him, but you like shoot these orbs or something. And he's like, I like the cut of your jib, G. And so he sends you back in time onto your sled. And now that you have altered the boat capsizing, those three characters come out when your mushing sled is gonna capsize, and they save you. I was like, what the fuck is this? It ended up being pretty good. It was like, I was not expecting that at all. And it's like a Russian game, and again, it's like impossible to find and play nowadays. Very underrated. The gameplay is kind of whatever, but story-wise, I was like, damn, they didn't have to go that hard. That was crazy. So I'm happy I finally played that, because people would always talk about that game, and I'm like, I don't get it. Like, as I was playing it, like, this game is so whatever, but that ending was like, what the fuck? Somebody really blew their brains out coming up with that. Okay, A Quiet Place. This game fucking sucks. Bad. I'm sure it has its fans. Not me. Not me. I'm such a not fan, I'm hitting my mic. Damn. So it's a stealth horror. I don't really like stealth games to start with, but I gave it a chance. So the stealth thing you do is you move as slowly as possible and as quietly as possible. I don't think I really need to explain why that's not very fun. But it's not, right? I compare it to what I do when I'm walking around the house at night when everyone's sleeping. You know, you're just like quietly trying to close doors. Stepping very softly. Yeah. And I think the worst thing about it, because that's just kind of innovative. There's an idea. The worst part about it is the antagonist, which is, I think they're called Fallen Angels or something, Angel of Death, some stupid name. They're fake. They're very scripted enemies. So I think I played 3-4 hours of it. From my experience, they only patrol in a few sections. Like, and you can see them, which are okay, because you're like, ooh, look at it, it's making noises and it's scary, yeah. Otherwise, they are nowhere around you, but they're omnipotent. So if you ever make noise loudly 3 times, boom, it teleports right in front of you and kills you. And I was like, this is like the fakest fucking thing I've in my life. It sucks. It sucks. Story was not that interesting. Yeah. Not my favorite game. Probably one of the worst games I played this year. No one's got anything to say about it. I would probably give it a 2 out of 5, a 4, as it were. Very poor. I'd have to think if I'd rate it lower than that. I probably did initially, because it really pissed me off. And just like how unimaginative it was. It was like Alien Isolation if it sucked. That's, I think, how I described it. Which is a game I adore. And the fact that we're getting a sequel to that game is like a wish, a dream come true. But this is like, I wouldn't even call it a pale comparison. It's just, it's an idiot version of it. It's disgusting. Revolting. Just thinking about it now is pissing me off. The score is going down in real time. It's a 3. Enough. Okay, now, this game really sucks balls. If you thought I was hard on A Quiet Place, Beyond Hanwell, I do not. They gave this a 9? Who played this? One guy. Who are you? Phil. Fuck you, Phil. This game's terrible. Actually terrible. I forget what I rated it, though. I wish I remembered. I mean, it's either a 2 or a 1, right? But, like, It's so... This has to be like a fucking psyop. Having played this from start to finish. Look at how it's rated. People love it. What did we play different things? It's got a fucking boring nothing open world that you do absolutely nothing in, by the way. They're literally just... It's there so you can walk to the levels. The combat blows. The enemy design blows. The boss fights blow. This game just sucks. Unfortunately. I wanted to like it. Here we go. Sluggish movement. Yeah. Mediocre. Yeah. I think that's the worst part about it. It just ends up being boring. It just... I could not recommend it to anyone, frankly. And, you know, hey, probably their first game. It looks good-ish. I can say that much, but everything else, very bad. I'll give it a 2. Because I did finish it. But I also finished Kong, so let's be real. Yeah, that game sucks balls. Let me try and remind myself if I gave it a 1. Oh, look, I gave myself a bunch of ratings here. Oh, this is fun. Okay, let me look at these ratings I put. Okay, I gave Mouthwashing a 7. Which is funny, because I said I bumped it up. Garage, I gave an 8. Doll Imposter, I gave a 6. Where are we? Here we are. Yeah, okay. I agree with myself so far. Psychopomp, I gave a 4. Well, can't argue with myself. Darkwood, an 8. Cat Lady, an 8. I gave that a 9. Silent Hill 2, an 8. I gave that a 9. I agree with both of those right now. Yomawari, yup. It's hilarious how, like, on the money I am on all these. Considering I thought I lost these, but I posted them in a Discord. Cheating off myself. Okay, I gave A Quiet Place a 3. How do I do it? How do I do it? Beyond Handwell 2. I agree with myself. I'm so good with myself. Alright. Okay, I'll leave the rest of those up. Fatal Frame. This is Fatal Frame 1. This was my first experience playing the series. This game is fucking slow. And I'll say it, it's not that scary. It's not that scary. But 2 is supposed to be the scary one, so I probably played the shittiest one first. My bad, I guess. I like what it's doing, but I don't like playing it. Because it's, again, it's very slow. It's very tedious. It's just sluggish. I feel like I'm playing an oaf while these ghosts are like doing zigzags and shit around me, and my character is just like drunkenly wobbling like a bobblehead. I don't know. And the story was not good either. So this I have rated before at a 7. I think that was before I finished. I finished it, so I'm gonna give it a 6. It was not great. Not the worst thing, but I was definitely disappointed, you know, because Fatal Frame was like one of those like legendary. It was like, oh, Fatal Frame, it's so scary and it's so good. I was not impressed. I'll say that. It was very middle. Okay, Eternal Darkness though, this game fucks. This game fucks with a big dick. I could not believe how good this game was. I think I also didn't finish this, but from what I played, this shit is crazy. You're playing like fucking, I don't know, 15 characters or something, and they're all in like different time periods. They all have different ways they deal with like this. The big bad is like a skull mage, so he's like summoning zombies and all that. Crazy game. Very ambitious, interesting systems. Nuts. Absolutely nuts game. And the fact that it's still stuck on the GameCube is sad. I wish Nintendo would let that game go, or remaster it, report it, whatever the fuck they gotta do, because that is like a game that still holds up. Seriously. I was very impressed by that game. Fucking cool. Alright, next. D. There's a lot of 2024 games. A lot of non-2024 games. D. This game is weird. This is like an FMV game. This was the Laura game. Some funny parts. You know, you fuck up a puzzle and like your character gets chopped in half or whatever. It's also weird because you play it in one sitting. There's no saving, and if you don't get to the ending in like 2.5 hours or something, the game ends. So I was busting ass to try and get that in one sitting. And there's like a really fucking diabolical puzzle that is probably gonna take you an hour at least towards the end. I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna make it, but I barely did. Yeah, I don't know. I think for 95, it probably was pretty influential. It also probably looked pretty good at 95. But yeah, you know, it's aged, definitely. And probably next Halloween, I will check out the other games in the series, or from, you know, this company, because they're nothing alike. So, in case you were wondering what the story is, your character is a lady. I forget what she does for a living. It doesn't matter. And you turn on the news or something, and like your dad owns a hospital, and it's like on lockdown because he's like killing people inside of it. And so you go to ask him what's going on, and you get sucked inside a portal. And that's how the game starts. Pretty interesting premise. Ending is also fairly interesting. So yeah, don't regret playing it. Definitely strange though. I have a feeling a lot of people would not be as forgiving of it as I am. Okay. You're a little over halfway through. Siren. Wow. This game is like, I don't even know. So I believe this is from the Silent Hill creator. This game fucking hates you. You know? And sometimes I fuck with that. I really felt that in this game. I felt like while I was playing it, these devs wanted me to stop playing. Multiple times. Because you play as like, I don't even know, like 20 different characters in a non-linear timeline, and you are going through these levels doing all kinds of random shit to finally get to the conclusion. And what happens is, unless you're following a guide, you're just gonna, you go through a level, and if you don't uncover, like, you know, I'm trying to think of an example. Like, there's so many, like, These are probably some of the worst puzzles in gaming in Siren. Like, there was one, I had to get a towel as a character and then dip it in water, I think in the sink, and then I had to put it in a freezer. I had to plug in the freezer, and then I had to put the wet towel in the freezer. So later, another character that comes to the same place can get the towel out and then put the towel across a gap in furniture and then put a piggy bank on top of the frozen towel. So when the towel thaws, the piggy bank can fall down and draw away monsters that are in a room I need to get into to get a key for another character. Like, it defies logic. It's not even moon logic at that point. I don't even know what the fuck. It's just like web games. There's no, it's a lack of logic. And it's like that, like the whole fucking game. It's, I don't know. And yet I rated a 6, right? I think because it's just so fucking audacious that I'm just like, wow, I can't believe somebody made this game. And like, I played it emulated, so I was loading quick saves all the fucking time, because when you die, you have to do the whole level over, and some of those levels are like 20, 30 minutes, an hour. I'm like, I'm not doing that. It is a fucking insane game. I do not think it is a fun game. And this, the overarching story and mythos of it is fascinating. But I do not think it is worth playing solely for that. If you're bored one day, pull up the Siren Wiki and just click on shit and read it. Because, like, wow. Crazy shit. A crazy story. That's probably why I rated it so highly. Because playing it was, like, some of the least fun I've had this year. It is not fun. It is not a fun game. And a lot of the levels have escort mission stuff too. I'm like, damn, this is like the fucking video game Antichrist. So, yeah. I respect it. I do not like it. It gets a 6. Again, I would recommend just watching a video essay or reading about it instead. And maybe playing the modern remake or the sequel. I don't know anything about those. Okay, Silent Hill 4. This was a game. Yeah, I rated it a 2. Because this game is also a mess. And the story is also not super amazing. I think it has some fascinating ideas, and if this is the next game they remaster, I will be there. Because it needs help. But I think what's there could be really fucking good. But again, playing it, I think the going into the fucked up world and coming back to your apartment and interacting with that is very interesting, and the way it changes over time. Super cool idea, but some of the level design and stuff gets really bad. Like, really bad. And then, again, coincidence? I don't know. Half of the game becomes an escort mission, which, depending on how well you do, determines your ending. So, no pressure. Probably the worst Silent Hill game I played, but I haven't played the modern ones, so I'm sure they get worse. Judero. Wow. This game was a fucking trip. This was the claymation game I played. It's labeled as absurdist comedy. I could see that. I don't know if they were in on it, but I could see that. What do you even say about this game? Like, it is so batshit Like, you play, it's stop motion. I didn't like what I did. And it has combat and puzzles and story. And like, I think it was made by 2 dudes. So like all the models and stuff they made themselves. But it's also voice acted by them, and they have really bad mics. So the voice acting is like super terrible, which just makes it funnier and more absurd. I kind of love it. I don't know if it's good though, right? There's definitely some like irony in it. I think it might be self-aware. But definitely one of the most unique games I've played. What a trip. If they make another game, I will be there for sure. Because I was playing that with my mouth agape, like half of it. Because I was just like, what the fuck is happening? And it was always like introducing new mechanics. It was like flipping the story on its head. It was like, wow, crazy. So pretty cool. Definitely, I think that might be a cult classic someday. Judero. Okay, Echoes of Wisdom. I like it. I don't love it. As far as like top-down Zeldas go, this is probably the most fun I've had with one, because the summons and stuff really change your gameplay. You can summon objects, you can summon enemies that you've killed, and the way the world and the puzzles interact with those is quite interesting. It's more of a puzzle game than a Zelda game, which I think is okay, because top-down Zelda combat kind of sucks. Sorry. So I think this game fixes that. Okay. Here's another one of my favorites from this year. Sorry we're closed. Excellent. Excellent game. Kind of surprised it's not more popular. Kind of surprised. Yeah, that it's rated this low, but whatever. It is a... How do you explain it? It's sort of like a Resident Evil game, like an old school one, where when you aim, you go in first person and you shoot weak spots, which can be pretty hard to do. But otherwise, the entire game is like third person. And then you also interact with the characters and world in a way that's over multiple days, sort of like a Persona. And depending on the choices and characters you align yourself with, or what you do or don't do, you get different endings. So I really love this game. There's really nothing I can compare it to. The writing's pretty good. The characters are very strange, but likable. The main antagonist is quite interesting. But even still, the side characters all have their own agendas, and everybody's like, hey, you should help me, you should help me, you should help me. You don't really know who's good and who's bad, so it's a trip. You know, some of the level design, it's not like the greatest I've ever seen, but it never like pissed me off or anything. Sometimes the levels were like 7 out of 10. But it's got boss battles. It's got multiple very different endings. It's great. It's a great game. And I think more people should play it. Hey, how long have we been going? Almost 2 hours. Damn, did she ever shut up? Okay, Fear the Spotlight. This game was very meh, unfortunately. I don't know why it says 2023. It came out this year again. Oops, it's a 6, not a 3. It's just a Yeah, it's a stealth horror game where you avoid the light, essentially. Which you'd think would lend itself to some interesting gameplay, but it kind of doesn't. And the story is pretty whatever. So, yeah. Again, if you're bored, it's an okay way to spend an afternoon, but it's not going to stick with you, I don't think, unfortunately. Okay, Neva, I don't know. This is from the Greece devs. Wow, people rated Neva higher than Greece. This is where we disagree, my friends. Disagree, get it? I think Greece is a great game. Beautiful, haunting. You know, it's kind of a walking sim sometimes, but I don't care about that. Has an interesting story to tell. Very metaphorical. This game is weird. I think these devs took complaints people had about Greece to heart, in that it didn't have enough gameplay, and I think they overcommitted. Because it ends up having very mediocre Metroidvania combat. And often introduces a mechanic that both overstays its welcome. It'll introduce a mechanic and have you do it a bunch of times, and then you'll never use it again. So it's like the worst of both worlds. Yeah, and the story I didn't really get either, which is weird because I was fully paying attention. I'm thinking there's like loops or cycles or something, but also like I don't know how that's supposed to make me feel. Like, again, minor spoiler, well, major spoilers. You start the game and that big like wolf thing behind her, it's just like, you know, generic goo that's in every game. The big bad goop comes and basically kills that one. So it's just you and its baby, which is in front of her. You can probably barely see it. Hello, baby. So you progress through the game and it's growing up and you're teaching it and everything without its mom there. And then the climax of the game, you confront the big goop, basically. And it's like, woo, we did it, hooray. And then I think along the way you find another creature, like the one you're raising, and they procreate and have a baby. Like, oh, it's so cute. Except it shows you chilling with your raised baby and its partner, and they have babies. And then your partner, or not your partner, the one you raised dies in like the exact same cutscene as the one from the beginning did. And so I'm like, what? I was like, what was the point of... Is it just like a never ending? Is that what Neva means? It's a never ending, like, back and forth. It didn't, like, I like dark endings. It just left me confused because it was animated exactly the same. So I was like, is this the same cut? Yeah, it didn't fuck with me. That's what I'm saying. Which is too bad, because I really like Greece. But yeah. And again, the gameplay of that game is very mid, unfortunately. So, oh well. Okay, Balatro. I do not like this game as much as everybody else does. And that's okay. But the fact that this is like a lot of people's game of the year and stuff, I'm like, why? Like, you know, it's a roguelike, I get it. But I would rather play like any other roguelike than play Balatro again. it's so like the systems and stuff are cool for sure, but it I can't play it more than an hour before I'm bored. I don't know if it's just because like, there's not enough interaction, but it's not for me. Let's say that. Happy for the people that like it. I don't. Persona 3 Reload. I played most of this, and then I think I watched Riles finish it. Good. This was a weird year, actually, because some of my favorite games of all time got remastered in Persona 3 and Silent Hill 2. Those are both 5 out of 5 games for me. And both didn't piss me off. Wow, isn't that interesting? And if I had a PS5, I would have played Rebirth too. Final Fantasy VII is also one of my favorite games. I watched some of that. We'll see. I think I'm gonna play it when it comes on PC and establish my opinion. Right now, it's just kind of in the air. But yeah, Reload, pretty good. I still think the original is better. But it does a good job of updating the game for a modern audience that is more used to Persona 5 isms. For Persona babies, this is probably the way to go. It obviously looks great. I do think some story elements and stuff were handled better in the original. And the fact that there is no female MC kills me. But we'll deal with it. And then they've decided to re-release the answer for some fucking reason. Nobody asked for that. But thanks. Islands of Insight. So this game, I don't even know if it's alive anymore. It is, wow, mostly negative. What happened? Island of Scamps, game abandoned. Oh, that's too bad. The game shut down its online server. Yeah, so, okay. Let's talk about this game. It is a puzzle, it is an open world puzzle game. So, if you played like The Witness, it's kind of like that. Except you play in third person as like a character you make. And then, for whatever reason, they decided to make it an online hub. Like, like Destiny has. Like, not an MMO, but like an online social game. So it's a puzzle game, and then you see all these people running around, and you can chat in-game. It is super bizarre. The puzzles are kind of fun. They start to get repetitive after a while, though. I think this would have been a better game if it didn't have online. I don't know why they chose to do that, and I think it almost killed the company because it didn't like sell enough to sustain the back end. So it's kind of sad all around, because I do think this could have been one of my favorite games this year, but I think it's a good example of a game that perhaps was following trends instead of thinking about how it would impact the core experience. So, sad. I'll give it a 6. I think it could have been something special, but like, especially the online elements added absolutely nothing to that. Like, all I was thinking while I was playing it is I was like, oh, I wish these people would go away so I could see the puzzle easier, or I could think, It's very strange. Okay, Last Epoch. I kind of forgot I played this. This was boring as fuck. Especially releasing the year of early access Path of Exile 2. This was just a very middling ARPG, frankly. I really don't have anything to say about it other than I played it for a few hours and went, I'm bored. Unfortunately. Okay, Pacific Drive. I tried to play this game 2 different times before I dropped it. Conceptually, very interesting. It is a survival game. But instead of taking care of yourself, you're taking care of your car. Because you're basically driving through... This is a whole story thing. We're just gonna say they're like nuclear zones. And your car is anti-nuclear. Nuclear. Sorry. So you have to take care of your car, otherwise you die. Right? So you basically drive around these zones. Radioactive zones, and you'll occasionally get out of your car and pick up little, you know, like a survival game. You pick up things for your car, health, etc., and you're upgrading it and fixing it up and stuff. And then like the end of a run, quote unquote run, culminates in you radioing home, and that this like column of light that you see is what you have to get to. But the whole time there's like it's like a Fortnite styled ring closes in around you, which is like, so you have to get into that column of light that you called in before the ring gets you, or you die and lose everything you've got in that run. There's a lot of story, there's a lot of character going on in this, but the gameplay was just not clicking with me, which is sad because I like everything else about it. So I end up giving it a 5, unfortunately. I could see how people love it, but the actual playing of it was just very boring for me, unfortunately. I tried. Okay, Unicorn. Uh-oh. Didn't finish this. Also a very boring game, unfortunately. Love Vanillaware. Just was not interested in the story, the characters. I think even the gameplay just didn't click with me. So I know people that love this game. I think that's great. For me, I played it for a few hours and just went, I could take it or leave it. So for me, it's a 5er. Looks great though. Also, you bitches, put fucking Dragon's Crown on PC now. Do I gotta call Sega? Hello? Put it on PC, please. Pepper Grinder. Hey, this game rules. Short, sweet, fun, interesting. Definitely haven't played a game quite like this. You play as that girl. You have a drill on your hand. A lot of the levels and zones, you kind of put your drill towards sand or dirt, and it has its own like physics and inertia. So you're kind of guiding it like almost like a boat, maybe, or I don't know. It definitely has a different feel than a lot of other games. And then you have to, when you emerge, I guess it's kind of like Echo the Dolphin when you jump out of the water. Remember doing that? When you jump out with the drill, you have to align yourself to the next zone that you'll drill into. So it's a lot of bobbing and weaving. When you get in the groove, it's pretty cool. But it's not terribly long. So yeah, short. Oh yeah, and there was gun stuff, which was very whatever. 7 years for 3 hours was bad. But, you know, I still like it. It's good. Ooh, here's another one I played at the beginning of the year. Another Crab's Treasure. Crab game. Crab Souls-like. Wow. So, this game ranged from, like, mind-numbingly easy to rip your hair out hard at, like, the drop of a hat. There was, like, quality of life stuff in place that if you were just, like, over stuff, you could just, there's, like, I think it's called a gun mode, and, your crab basically gets a gun that one-shots anything, so you can just say, fuck it, I'm ready for the next part. I think my biggest complaint about this game is it's too fucking long. Like, this game is seriously, let me pull up the how long to beat. I think it's like 30 hours, 25 something. Okay, yeah, it says it as 20-ish. And like, after a while, I was just like, I'm sick of the zone. Get me to the next place. And like the story would keep going. Okay, you did this. Now you gotta do this. I'm like, can you just finish, please? Story is really weird. The crab you play as is also like not necessarily a good guy. It's very strange. It's a very strange game. But I still had fun. And, you know, the core gameplay is you have a sword, which is a fork. But the twist is the thing on your back gives you abilities, depending on the trash you put on your butt, because you're a hermit crab. And that's what starts the whole game. You lose your shell, and you're trying to get your shell back. From, like, a loan shark or something. And yeah, you know, some of the equipment you put on your back is really cool. Some of it doesn't feel quite as good. And it all has durability. So that's another thing I was kind of like, I wish I could just keep the thing I like. There's like character upgrades and it's a really weird game. And I'm going to spoil the ending for you because it is also really weird. You're doing like fetch quest after fetch quest after. You eventually see your shell for sale at like a pawn shop. And you're like, hey dude, I need that shell back. That's my house. And he's like, so? It's gonna cost you like 90 million bazillion dollars. And your character's like, well, I can't afford that. He's like, well, fuck off then. And the story culminates, there's like corruption in the leadership, and you go and take care of it. Everybody's like, yeah, you did it, you found like the big treasure. And he's like, finally I can buy my house or something. Welcome back, Bryles. And you go back to this pawn shop guy. You're like, hey bro, I just saved the city, like literally from death. It's like, and I have all this money, I'm ready for my house back. And he goes, no. And your character's like, what do you mean no? And she's like, I don't feel like selling it now. And so your character is so fed up with everybody's shit that he kills the pawn shop owner and takes the shell back. And I was like, what the fuck was that ending? Okay. So, certainly unique, right? The tags here say satire, so maybe it's a little self-aware. I don't know. I definitely was scratching my head at a couple parts. Ah, Nun game. I'm just about to. Indica. A 3.2. These are not my people. This game is very good. Very, very good. And unique. So, the premise of this game is you play as a nun. In a... you know, wherever the fuck nuns live. Parish? Church? I don't know. Whatever the fuck. And she's like kind of getting sick of the routine. Also because a lot of the other nuns are bitches to her. So she's like, eh. So she has this like voice in her head that's like, maybe you shouldn't be a nun anymore. Isn't this kind of like a stupid belief we have? And it's revealed not that far into the game that voice is literally the devil. So you're playing a nun going about these absurd events that happen as you go across your very strange journey, while getting commentary from the devil, who's like, oh, you know, maybe you should just indulge and believe in what you want to believe in, all this shit. There's like puzzles and a narrative, and you meet all these strange characters. And it has a crazy ending that I thought it was going to end like 2 or 3 different ways. It is a very unique game. Again, if you like walking sims, if you like games that aren't afraid to be strange, maybe do a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Because that's another thing, is it often has you do mini games that are completely different from one another. Like one time you'll be driving a bike around in a race. One time you'll be doing like a almost like 4-dimensional puzzle. One time you'll be doing a quick QTE so you don't get mauled by a giant werewolf. Like, it is a bizarre game. Yeah, right, yeah, and that's the other thing, is like the way it tells its story is just so interesting. It's wholly unique, and it's definitely, I can't really compare it to anything. And again, there's, yeah, that the chase scene is like the scene. It is like one of the strangest and funniest things I think I've ever done in a video game. I'll explain it to you a little bit. So the setting for this game is like, you know, maybe like 1900s, but there's also like weird technology. So you are trying to get to, I think, like a church or something at the end of your journey. And along the way you meet a dangerous character who has a gun, basically. He's like, hey bitch, I want you to get on the steampunk bicycle and drive us to this village. And you're a nun, so you're like, okay, don't shoot me. You get on the bike and you're pedaling it. And he hops in because he's injured. This is an interesting song. Thank you. And all the while, this other guy is chasing this dangerous guy because he's like, I gotta kill this guy. He's trouble. He's like a, what do I want to, sort of like a brown noser cop. Anyway, so your nun is pedaling this bike, right? And this guy is injured and laying in the back, and the whole time this guy is screaming obscenities at you and shooting at you on this slow-ass steampunk bike. But he can't shoot you because his eyesight sucks. So he's like, I'm gonna fucking kill you! And he's just chasing you on foot, missing 30-40 shots while you're pedaling this slow bicycle, and your nun and that guy are having a conversation on the bike. And this sequence goes on for like probably 8 minutes. Unhinged. And that's just one scene from that game. So really love it. Very interesting. Very metaphorical, very philosophical. Right, yeah. It's insane. Oh, I just realized the chat is in the way. Let's put you there. I'll have to fix that next time. Okay. Next game. Only a few more to go. Red Delusion. This game... Did I rate Indica? No, I didn't. It's a 9er. Red Delusion bored me, unfortunately. Which is too bad, because it looked very Morrowind-like. But... yeah. I agree. This person, this random comment that says there needs to be someone who publishes games like this. Northern Journey, this game fucking rules. It's from last year. Actually, no, I played it last year. It's from 2021. Anyways, back to Dread Delusion. It's like an open worldy RPG thing, but I wasn't really sucked into its world or story, and the gameplay was very whatever, so unfortunate. I probably ended up putting 8-10 hours into it and just so bored I couldn't finish it, so sucks. Was excited for it, but you know, sometimes it don't work out like that. Wuthering Waves. Wuthering. What would I rate Wuthering right now? Probably a 7. It's decent. I think it has problems, but I think it's also pretty easygoing. I think the combat is flashy and fun and fast. I think the new region and patch, sorry, that was my esophagus, are a direct improvement over the base game stuff. It's just a very laid-back game. That's why I like it. It's doesn't demand all of your time. It just is like, whatever, you play as much as you want. Cool. Works for me. It's fairly rewarding. Let's see what this person has to say. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it still feels a little underbaked. You know, maybe it'll realize its potential later. But for now, I don't mind sitting on it for a bit. Can always drop it if I need to, right? Shin Megami Tensei 5. So, I did not finish Vengeance. Obviously, because I lost everything. But I really like the base game. And I would assume I really like this. You know, just more. So, when I saw, I'll rate it a 9. I think it's an improvement over a game I really, really liked. I really, really liked 5, SMT 5. I played it, I think, 2 or 3 times all the way through. Which I don't do with a lot of Atlas games. All that New Game Plus shit with like Persona and shit, fuck that. But with this game, I went, ooh, give me more. So. Okay, Zenless. More gacha. I play a lot of gacha. How do we feel about Zenless? It's, you know, it's like Wuthering. I think it had a rough launch with identity issues and trying to add and remove things people wanted. I think it's beginning to hit its stride now. You know, as far as like long term, how much I'm going to continue playing it, I don't know. Kind of depends on design philosophy. I think Miyabi is a troubling sign. If she's an outlier, then I will let it go. But it, you know, it feels pretty good. It's fairly easy to play. The animations are great. It's very stylish. I think it has a lot of fat on it that I don't really care about, like the dating and stuff. I could give a fuck less. But I do like the way the story is presented. So, yeah. I think Wuthering is a little better. But I still have fun playing it. For how long? I don't know. But for now, it's pretty good. Earth Defense Force 6. What a hoot this game was, huh? It's rated pretty highly. And I would agree. I would rate this an 8. It is more of what you know and love, but better. You know? It's fixed some quality of life stuff that is always kind of a bugbear, in that drops would only be for the character you're playing as, but in this game they fixed it so it's for every character, including armor, which is good. And it also tried to have a narrative this time, and it actually was pretty solid. I'm not gonna say it was like the greatest story ever told, but it did make the level design and asset reuse kind of funny. So some of the missions were a little hard. They were, but I would also say this was, like, difficulty-wise, sort of one of the easier EDFs I played. Because I finished it. Don't always get to the final level of all the EDFs I play. Usually because we're playing on, like, the hardest available difficulty, and there's a bit of a grind prerequisite eventually in the later missions, you know? If you don't have enough firepower, you just get overwhelmed by hordes. But it is fun. Good fun. No regrets. Yeah. Pretty cool. Pretty cool game. Deadlock. So I was super into this game for a while. I would still say I am, but I've stepped back from it so I don't get burnt out while they're still developing it, developing characters, changing, you know. I got in, I went, yeah, this is pretty cool. I will probably fuck with this. And gracefully step back, and I'm going to let them develop it. I think in its current state, I would give it a 7. I think in its future potential, it could be a 9. Yeah, not a lot to say. I think it is the white whale some developers have been chasing, with unifying hero shooters and MOBA elements. So that's cool, because a lot of devs have tried and it's not always good. This game feels pretty good. There's a lot to learn. Very deep game. Yeah. Okay. Metaphor. Okay. I don't really know what to rate this because I haven't finished it. Everyone I've spoken to loves it. I don't know how I feel about it. I'm happy that it's not just Persona, but when I play it, a lot of the time I'm sitting there thinking this is just Persona. Obviously it's not, but like the blueprint is so strong, it's like I can still see the walls of Persona just like right there. You know, the day in, the time passing element, very Persona. The hangouts are improved, but still very Persona. The cast is mostly adults. That's good. But it's I don't know if it's the writing or what, but I'm still like, God, this is just Persona again. Like, so I think outside of the combat, in the setting, I don't think the game differentiates itself enough from its Persona DNA. And I think the combat is kind of fucking annoying. Which is weird because I love SMT5s. Love it. In this game though, it's really weird because they have changed elements of it. Like, it's still the press turn system. You know, you have your, like, what is it, 4 blops up in the corner. When you hit an enemy, you get, like, you know, with a weakness, you get, like, another turn. But in this game, like, I think it's, if you miss, you lose all of your blops. So, like, missing is really, really, really bad. And also, you don't get access to AoE abilities until, like, mid-game. I mean, you do, but they cost double. So, some of the mechanics of this game, they've gotten, there's, like, no demons. It's just your party members. And your party members pick up classes, quote-unquote classes, which are essentially demons, but we're not going to go there. These classes have, like, 8 abilities and levels, individual levels. So, and I think most classes have 3 tiers. So you have your mage, you have your, I can't remember the name, wizard, and then your mega wizard, whatever the fuck. So your mage has, like, single target fire poopy damage, single target ice poopy damage, single target lightning poopy damage. That's what you start with. But if you have someone else in your party that is another wizard or something, they have these, like, team up abilities. So you could have an AoE fire spell, but there are 2 gates to that. So the first gate is you have to have someone that is the right class to interact with that ability. And the second gate is it costs 2 skill points. Or 2 turn points. And if one of those misses, because it's an AoE move, then you lose all your points. So I think that works out okay in boss battles, but what ends up happening is mob battles are miserable. Because if they get the jump on you, or hit a weakness, they will just go like 100 times, and you're just dead. Like, oh, that was fun. It honestly, there are times when I'm playing this, it reminds me of when I was playing SMT Nocturne on the highest difficulty the first time, before I even, like, finished it once. So I think it's a little unbalanced. And also, like, I have a lot of critiques about this game. A lot of what I'm playing are dungeons. There's a lot of dungeons in this game. And again, Persona doesn't really have that good of dungeon design. I would say they're okay in this game, but now that I've done probably like fucking 20, 30 dungeons, it feels like, they're very boring. Because they're huge and sprawling. There's not a lot of rewards in them, and they often end up having 2 or 3 enemy types. And so by the end of it, I'm just like, ugh, get me out of here. This is so fucking boring. The bosses at the end are usually pretty interesting, but it's like, I don't know. It's like they couldn't figure out how to make dungeons good. I think the story and characters and stuff are okay so far. I've heard it only gets better. But right now, it's not capturing me enough to be like, okay, I'm gonna fly through this game. So I don't know. I get that people are excited about this because it's not Persona, but there's a nagging part of me that's just going, this is Persona. This is Persona in a fantasy mask. So I don't know. Might be a me thing, and I like Persona, but the formula's getting old, right? So I think maybe I'm a little disappointed that this didn't break the formula more. For now, I'd give it a 7. That could go up, that could go down. When I finish it, I'll probably reassess. You know? It's fine. You know? I know that was mostly complaints, but it's just, I don't know. Just is not what I wanted. I would rather play Reload than Fantasia. It looks like most people would agree. So that's interesting. Oh, and one last thing. The overworld combat feels like bought. I don't even know why they included that. You know how like in Personas you could like hit an enemy from behind and like, oh, you ambushed it. They have that in this game, but it's like the shittiest Dynasty Warriors game you've ever played. So depending on like what your character is using, they'll swing multiple times. If you hit them from behind, it builds their stun bar faster. But if you get hit and you're not like wearing an ability or playing a class that prevents you from getting ambushed, if they hit you once, you get into combat as an ambush. So like, I don't think the real-time combat improves it in any way. Like, you can like quote-unquote kill overworld stuff that's weaker than you that way, but I don't really know what it adds. At that point, you may as well not even be hitting them. I don't know. It is a game that has many ideas and no ideas at all. So I come feeling torn. Alright, Anomaly Agent. Now I gave this a 7. I would agree. Kind of interesting side-scrolly beat-em-up game. I think Katana Zero is far better than it, but you know, I'm not gonna complain at getting a game sort of similar to Katana Zero, because that game slaps dick. Okay, Apartment Story. Nobody's even rated this game. Okay, this is like barely a game. Which is okay. Yeah, again, I'm not a, ooh, it's just a story game. But it's basically you play a guy in an apartment and you feed his bars like he's a sim. Hunger, thirst, hygiene, etc. While a story unfurls that doesn't end up being that interesting. And a confusing ending. I couldn't figure out where to go for like 20 minutes in the ending. And it's not very long to begin with. So I think it's a cool idea, but I do not think it's executed well at all. So it gets a 4 from me, unfortunately. Would love to see the idea revisited though. Thank goodness you're here. I remember this silly game. This is a very posh, very silly little game. Feels very Python-esque. Did make me laugh a couple times, which is pretty hard to do. Just very absurd, you know? Very fun Brit 'em up, Jesus Christ. Yeah, it's, I don't know. Trying to think of like what to compare it to is not a lot. It's just a goofy little game. What else have these guys made? It was very silly, very silly. Halls of Torment. This is a survivor-like bullet heaven. Love that. With a Diablo art style. Played it for a few hours, but yeah, that's pretty fun. You know, if you like those games, play it. If not, don't. Okay, Infinity Nikki. This game's disappointing. And it crashed for me a lot. So, I'm glad it's finding an audience. But I think it's just... it's not stimulating enough for me to play it daily. And I don't think I like the outfits enough either. So I can't even be like, oh, I'll stick with it so I can play dress up. I like playing dress up. I do. But not in that game. I don't like the clothes that are available. That could change over time, but in its current state, I just went, eh. So, yeah, I'm good. Also, just like what you do is very whatever. You're sort of like running around and solving like very simple puzzles. It's, you know, I'm glad it's finding a casual audience, but because it's so casual, I don't find myself stimulated by it in the slightest. UFO 50, okay. For a lot of people, this is probably their game of the year. For me, it is not, but I can respect it. It is just a collection of 50 different game ideas, all sort of unified in like an overarching kind of weird story. But at a surface level, you end up going in these games with no idea what they are, no idea how to play them, and you just have to kind of figure it out. Which, I don't know if you guys know this, I do that enough already, right? At a max, I do that 5 times a week. I don't need to do that 50 times in one day, right? So for me, that novelty is not that special, frankly. I can see why it would be for some people, especially people that don't play a lot of games a year. You know, some people only play like 5-10 games a year, and that's fine. So this game, they're probably like, holy shit, it's like I played 50 games. But because they're emulating earlier style games, they're not necessarily that deep. I think a lot of them have like little hidden tricks and stuff you can do, but I came at this casually. I didn't have like a wiki up to look at all that stuff, so I just went by what I could do then, and none of them were really that interesting. Which is kind of what I was afraid of, but I did end up liking it more than I thought. I thought I would hate this game. Because really retro games like that, simple games, I can't play for more than 20 minutes for I'm just like, yeah, okay, I'm good. But again, I think for certain people, this will be like one of their favorite games of all time. And that's cool. For me, it is not. Especially like if you're a game dev, you're probably like, damn, this game fucking slaps, because it's a lot of ideas, right? But for me, I was like, take it or leave it. Alright, The Thing. Yeah, this game kind of sucks. Which is too bad, because The Thing is one of my favorite movies. But yeah, it just kind of ends up being a very middling third-person shooter with kind of blah level design and kind of dumb ally and enemy AI. I think there are elements of a cool game here, but it's, yeah, it doesn't get there. So that was disappointing. That was the game I was looking forward to. My side, hey, this game was pretty good. I think it's a little baity, a little coomery, but as a game itself, it tells a fairly interesting story. It has multiple endings, which I liked all of, but your mileage may vary. It keeps the gameplay interesting. You're always doing something kind of different and new. Yeah, it's good. It's not like amazing, but it's good. I was surprised. I kind of thought I wouldn't like it that much, and I did. So, okay, just a few more, and then I will have to take a look at like Game of the Year lists and make sure I didn't miss, because like I've played games and forgot to put them in this list. It's gonna happen. Okay, Plucky Squire. This game's disappointing. It overstays its welcome. It talks too much. It is very handholdy. It thinks you're a baby. Visually, it is stunning, but you know that can't carry it enough. This is great. Game of the Year contender, kind of disappointing. kind of how it is. When you're first playing it, you're like, oh, I love this. And then it keeps going, and you're like, And then it keeps going, and you're like, well, I think I've had enough. And then it keeps going, and you're like, I've really had enough. The puzzling is very linear. It's, yeah. It's too bad. Dragon's Dogma. I have not played a lot of this. But that's okay. I think I would rate the first Dragon's Dogma like a 5. And I would probably rate this like a 6. It's a little better, but I think it has a lot of the same problems. In that it is an open world RPG that is very sandboxy. And, you know, that's cool, but it's almost like too open. Which is crazy because, like, the level design is kind of linear. But it's hard for me to explain. It's like how I feel about more modern popular titles like Minecraft. You know, I put a lot of stock into characters and story and world building and stuff, and this is kind of one of those games like Minecraft where you play it and you make the story. You know, you're like, oh, when I was playing da-da-da happened and all this, and like that's cool, but I need a little bit more to catch on to. This game has a story, but it's not that interesting. Otherwise, it's kind of just you running around, looking in caves, fighting big monsters that just happen to appear. I think it needed a little more spice or something. Yeah. Story is definitely like secondary in this game. So. Pokemon. This has been a surprise, actually. This is something I saw announced like a while back. And then it released and I was like, you know, I'll check it out. It's fun. It's not like the best game I've ever played, but as far as like a fun little game to turn on for a few minutes each day, it's great. Which is what Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel used to be for me. I used to play that daily. And then it just kind of got to be too much. Like I was bogged down. I'd be like, I gotta do my dailies. I'd be doing duels with dudes that last like fucking 20-30 minutes and then I'd lose. So I'd have to do it. It took too much time. Pocket, you turn it on. You do your 1 to 2 pulls a day. You do your wonder pick. You do any events you need to do, which are often short and can be auto-played, and you turn it off. The PvP is okay as well. It's not Omega deep, but matches... There's a little bit of skill expression. Some people might not find it hard enough. That's totally fine. But for me, it's kind of what I want right now. It's just let's see what funny thing I pulled today. Oh, this fucking sucks, right, guys? That's what it is. It is a living, breathing system that I'm currently enjoying. For how long? I don't know. A year, a month, a day. But for now, it's fun. Okay, Path of Exile 2. Okay, so I've also played Path of Exile 1. I think this is like a 7. Path of Exile 1. Path of Exile 2 is a strange one. I think it still has the crazy depth of Path of Exile 1. But at least for the campaign is very different feeling. So Path of Exile 1 is very zoomy, very blow up, life or death, boom, 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 just zipping all around, killing everything. At least for the leveling in campaign of Path of Exile 2, it is not like that at all. It's much more grounded and slow and methodical. Bosses, you really have to pay attention to their mechanics. Or you're gonna get blown up. It's not a perfect game. I think difficulty is very spiky. I think some bosses are perhaps a little overtuned. I think many are undertuned. I think the third act is the weakest. It's a little long and kind of boring. The first act is great. Second act is decent. I think it's supposed to eventually have 6 acts. Like the characters, like the build variety. It's fun. I plan to go back to it at some point. Probably when they add more characters. But for a while, this was my obsession. I played a lot of this. Yeah, it's good. I think there's room for improvement. But I had a lot of fun with it, and I look forward to going back to it. So, ta-da! That's everything on this list. Let's go through everything that was released this year. Oh boy, this won't take that long, I promise. I was gonna play Prince of Persia and never did. Oh well. I'm sure I would have liked it. I don't know if it would have been a Game of the Year contender though. Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth. Gonna play that someday. Gotta get through all the other Yakuza games first. Relink. This was a game my guildmates were super into. I wouldn't mind playing it sometime. It's basically sort of like a Tales action RPG-ish. But I don't think it would have been a Game of the Year contender. Hello, hello, long time no see. Happy Monday. Reload, played that. Played that. Kind of caught us towards the end, actually. Skull and Bones. I wonder if this game is even still alive. The first quadruple A game. That's so godly. It cost $200 million to make. That is fucking insane. I thought about playing this. Penny's Big Breakaway. I think this is by the Mania devs, Sonic Mania devs. But it didn't review like super amazingly. Happy New Year, everybody. Sorry I was gone so long. I'm feeling better now. So, should be back to the old everyday schedule. Hope your holidays and stuff were good. Mine were. I spent a lot of it resting. I got pretty sick over the holidays, but we're doing better now. I really want to play Rebirth. Probably gonna get it on PC. Because I have a feeling I'm gonna have a lot to say about that game. I'll be like, oh, I love this, or oh, I hate this. I thought about playing the Thaumaturge, but I didn't. Wow, look at all of us, huh? Outlast Trials, Trog said this was a good game. This is such a weird direction for this game, or this series to go. Because, like, I played the first Outlast, I think it was not this past Halloween, but the previous one. And it was very whatever, but like now it's like a multiplayer game. It's so weird. Struggling if you should finish Remake and integrate or jump straight into Rebirth. or spoil yourself with the speedrun. I watched a little bit of the Rebirth speedrun. It's kind of funny. I definitely recommend watching it sometime, but like I don't know how much story-wise it spoils. Plus, like, you've played 7, so like, did they skip cutscenes? I think so. They must. I think it's only like a 6-hour, 7-hour estimate. That game is long as fuck, so there's no way they're watching those cutscenes. In fact, it's probably gonna pull up like dicks or something. No, okay. Final Fantasy Rebirth cutscenes. I'm not watching them. The cutscenes are 21 hours. There's no fucking way they're watching the cutscenes. So there you go. As Dusk Falls. Oh yeah, that game. Unicorn, boring. When I'm all done here, I'll post the very lazy spreadsheet. You know, with everything that went on, I was not nearly as meticulous as I was with last year's. Look at this behemoth with the release dates and the genre breakdown. I even got, like, if you like Wario Land, play this. If I finished it, the playtime. Hopefully this year I'll do that with the sheet. Admittedly, the the events set me back a ways in the whole cataloging department. Oh yeah, I never played the FF14 expansion. Don't really feel like I need to. Princess Peach. Yeah, this game looked boring. And yes, you're right. Yeah, we love the cutscenes. We love story. Rise of the Ronin. This game looked pretty good, but again, no PS5, so. Oh yeah, it's a turn-based game. Felix the Cat. Oh, that's like an old game. Open Roads. I thought about playing this game. Seems divisive. Oh, same team has Gone Home. Interesting. You know, I'm not seeing a lot here that I didn't play. I downloaded Content Warning for free and never played it. Oh well. Oh, Gigantic. I didn't put that on my list, did I? I bought that game. Gigantic. What is it? Rampage Edition? It was fun for a few weeks. And then Chog and I had a really bad game, and then we never wanted to play it again for some reason. It's Gigantic is an action MOBA, third person. It would be interesting to see them do a sequel. Pretty fun though. Have you played Indiana Jones yet? No, I am debating whether I should. I don't know if I would like that game or not, but I like Uncharted, so maybe. See, Dave the Diver, that was last year. I mean, so far, I haven't really seen anything that I played and didn't put on other than Gigantic. It's more like Riddick. Oh, Chronicles of Riddick. You know, I've never played those. I played the demo for the first one on the original Xbox and went, oh, this game's kind of cool. And then just never played them. Oh yeah, I think I have V Rising installed but never played it. Oops. I've heard a lot of mixed things about this game. 1000 Resist. It looks like it's a story game. It's rated really well. But it didn't, like, actually win anything. Let's see. Damn, she got stabbed in between the titties. That looks pretty Yoko, for sure. Maybe I'll have to play that. It's not so much a game as an interactive movie. Cryptmaster, was that this year? Did I put that on here? Is that the black and white game you were talking about, Riles? Cryptmaster. This was a good game. This is like a... oh, it's like a word typing game. But it's like a dungeon crawler. So you interface. It was like in an apartment complex. And you walk down the stairs and talk to people. I have no idea what that. I'll have to think on that one. But this one, it might not have been this year. It's possible. Yeah, you crawl around in a dungeon. You do combat by typing the enemy's names. And your characters all have abilities. Oh, actually, no. You type out their attacks, and if their attacks are in the enemy's name, it takes that letter out. So, like, your warrior could say, like, swing, but there's no letters of swing in there. It's pretty cool. My favorite parts were the storytelling and then these, like, chests. And you would open them, and then your Cryptmaster would be like, "Oh, there's something weird in here," and you have to try and guess what it is based off of like context clues. So you'd be like, "Touch," and you'd be like, "It's wet and slimy." You're trying to guess what's in the chest based on those clues. That was a lot of fun. I finished it. The story and conclusion were not quite as excellent as I was hoping, but it didn't really bring down the rest of the game, so I still give it a 7. It's a very cool and unique game. I'm still trying to think what the fuck that game is you're talking about, Miles. Walk down the stairs and talk to people. Oh. I guess I played more this year than I thought I did. It just felt like I didn't. Wallowing Waves. Wow, look at all those shit games. It's because you streamed every day? I guess that's true. Humanity, love that game. Not from this year though. Oh yeah, the Killer Clowns game. Didn't play that one. I think I knew better. I wonder when the fuck Beyond Good and Evil 2 is coming out. If ever. Maybe they'll just silently kill it. Might be for the best. The first... Oh, this is that Coomer game. Yeah, no, I didn't play that. Golden Idol. That's old. Yeah, 2022. Click holding. I definitely read that as cuckolding. I'm intrigued. Oh, it's one of these games. Okay. It's just like a absurdist, dark narrative game where you do one repetitive action over and over. Yeah. Seen those. July. Oh yeah, I played the demo for this. And I went, yeah, that's enough. The little shadow game. It's kind of cute, but I don't know if it necessarily justified it being a whole game, you know? Oni. They're making HoloLive games? Monk of Christ. Hey, Tomba. Smile. Volgar the Viking 2. I thought about playing that. Oh yeah. Black Myth Wukong. I don't even know if I would like that game, to be honest. Visions of Mana. I thought about playing that. I might like that. Just an action RPG. Was Outlaws this year? Wow, it was. God. Nobody bought this game. Feels bad, man. But I think that's just Ubisoft's fault. They had their formula and they stuck to it for so long that everyone got sick of their games. LC. I haven't heard of that game. Oh, right. Yeah, I forgot they were having all those Windows problems. That's so godlike. I should probably fix chat at home. Yeah, it came out in August. Oh yeah, I gotta get this. So I can play MVC2 again. I miss MVC2. Oh god, Funko Fusion. If I didn't have all that bad shit happen this year, I probably would have played that as like my shitty games to play block. I heard that game is abominable. We'll try and play some shitty games this year. For y'all. You like it, Bender? Hey, that's good. I feel like I don't know anybody who's played it. Like, which is crazy for a Star Wars game, you know? Yes. Too much saturation. I forgot about this Lollipop Chainsaw remaster. We were all clamoring for that, definitely. I gotta beg for on my hands and knees for fucking years to get Xenoblade X remastered, but we can get a fucking Lollipop Chainsaw remaster. Ugh. Kill Knight. Oh, I was gonna play that. Never did. Looks fun though. Well, hey, web fishing. I looked at this game on Steam. Oh, you got it free with your GPU. I forgot they still do that. Since they've tightened it up so much. Remember when you used to be able to like sell the keys? And now they're like, you gotta put in your fucking GPU's like social security number to redeem this key on your account that's tied to like your fucking school email, and it's not worth it. Yeah, this is an interesting game because it's just like a fishing sim with like kind of cutesy lo-fi Animal Crossing-esque graphics, but it's like a chat room, so it's like it's got a very social element to it. You just kind of like chill and fish and be like, hey, where do I get the tuna? So it's like a fishing chat room. It's a cute idea for a game. I don't know how much I would like it, but it does interest me. Oh yeah, Eternum came out. I forgot about that. Crow Country, love it, love it. Oh, I forgot Jamboree came out. You know what? Fuck Nintendo for making new Mario parties all the time. Why won't they just do the Mario Kart 8 thing and give me the Ultimate Mario Party? What is wrong with them? Or the Smash Ultimate treatment. Give me it now. Little dickheads. Beat the fuck out of them. There's a fucking Amanda the Adventurer 2? What? Where? What? When did this happen? Is this like good? Because the first game wasn't that good. The game isn't even beatable. Huh. Well, I didn't really like the first one that much, so I'm not gonna worry about it. Ugh, Starbound. They just released Starbound on the Xbox? How old is this game? 26? That's almost 10 fucking years? Who the fuck wants to play Starbound 10 years later on an Xbox? Not me. I was gonna play Double Exposure so I could get mad. Maybe it's best I don't, so I can think back fondly on the first Life is Strange. Veilguard, yeah, nah, I'm good. I'm good. Happy for those that like it, though. I don't really like Dragon Age that much. Oh, and this fucking Mario and Luigi game, I heard this shit was boring as hell. You aren't gonna believe it, but I heard it was babified. You're sad? Well, you should get used to it. Nintendo just can't fucking help themselves when it comes to their RPGs. Slitterhead. Oh, I want to play this. I bet I would love this game because it sounds so fucking weird. And look at those scores. I would either love or hate that game. Beyblade. Wow. Oh yeah, I forgot about this 2D remake. Yeah. It looks like I got pretty much everything. Let's go 9 souls. What month is this? Is this December? Yeah. We're almost done, y'all. Oh yeah, Pocket Camp Complete. This is an interesting thing. So, Pocket Camp was a mobile game for, well, mobile, duh. And it was an Animal Crossing, but, you know, it had sort of like gacha elements and you would pull for furniture and stuff. and had social elements and all that shit. So they winded down and killed the game. But after they killed it, they essentially turned it into a one-time purchase. So you can buy the app and you get everything that's in it. So they took out all the like shitty like microtransactions and gotcha stuff. And now it's just a game. The social elements I don't think work, but now it's just a mobile Animal Crossing game. And apparently people really like it. So I went, damn. I hope all mobile games when they die can do that, because that's really cool. It's not like, you know, the devs or publisher are going to get any more money out of it. Since it's dead, you may as well get what you can get and cut your losses. So I hope that's the trend that continues. Antiplast. I was gonna play this too. This is like another Wario-like game. Like Pizza Town. Ah well. How the fuck are people still playing Raft? That game feels like infinity years old. Let's see, there's Marvel Rivals. There's Indie Jones. I think I'm gonna play Yeast tomorrow. If I can get it installed and stuff in time. The Oath and Felghana, because I love that game, but I never finished it. Played it on Steam, I think, and I picked the hardest difficulty at the time, and I got to like the second to last boss, and I couldn't fucking beat him. It's like, oh no! Struggled through the rest of the game, but I was just blocked for days, weeks on that guy. So I'm gonna play it. They remastered it recently. I'm gonna play it again, and I'm gonna beat that motherfucker. I'm jazzed. Because I loved everything about the game. I loved how it played. I loved the music, which was like fucking Riff City. Oh, beautiful game. Oh, I forgot about this game. This is a beat 'em up Power Rangers game. I love early Power Rangers. Look at that. Isn't that delicious? Chunky fried chicken. Let's go. And it's about Rita Repulsa, one of my favorite villains. Damn, that's kind of expensive for being up though. It looks sick though. And also, since it came out at the end of the year, nobody played it. You gotta... Devs gotta learn, if you release shit in December, nobody's gonna play it. Unfortunately. Fairy Tail 2. Okay. Well, I think that is the list. So that would mean... I'm not gonna do write-ups either, since I just babbled that whole time. That would mean my favorite games this year. How do you arrange? I forgot. Oh look, I left myself a thing. Title. What? Uh-oh. Oh, is it here? Hang on. I promise I know how to cheat. It's just been a while. Data, filter views, create. How do I do that? Oh, it's okay. I got there. I promise. Filter views. Create filter view. That's fine. How do I range? B. Name this view? I don't know. Oh god. How did I get here? I'm not very good with computer. Well, I guess that's fine. I'll just undo it at the end. Okay, so my favorite games from this year were the Nun game, Indica, Sorry We're Closed. That game also bangs butts. I guess SMT Vengeance, huh? That's cool. I don't know why I'm acting surprised at my own taste, but yeah, I'm based. Is that how you spell vengeance? It is now. Until Dawn does not count. No. Silent Hill 2 does, though. That was a great remaster, reimagining thing. Lorelei. Yup. Yeah, that's a collection, so we're not gonna count that. Crow Country, huge ass slapper. Okay. I don't know, you guys have probably been in and out. If you like old school RE, please play Crow Country. Please. Please, please, please. Please. It is so fucking good. 9 Souls. Great game. Can't wait to finish that one. And then Animal Wow. Yeah. So we've got 2 big budget games and the rest are indies. Sounds about right for me. Okay, so those are all the 9s. Let's look at the 8s real quick. Anything wants to sneak in? Path of Exile 2 is still in early access. Persona 3 Reload definitely should be on here. I think Earth Defense Force should be as well. Thank goodness you're here. Yeah, that was fun. Fun, cheeky, little silly game. My side, yeah. Yeah, I think Helldivers 2, despite me falling off of it, you know, there's no way you're ever going to play a game forever, but the time I spent with it was very fun. Little kitty. Yeah. We appreciate Little Kitty Big City in here. Yes, we fucking do. Shipwrecked. Home Safety Hotline. How many do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Ooh, okay. We can do a nice round 15, but who's it gonna go to? Shipwrecked or Home Safety? Oh. That's tough. I really like both of those. I guess I can make it 16, but where's the drama in that, right? Okay, it's Shipwrecked and Home Safety. Can you spell? Okay, we got it. All right. Is there anyone? Let me look at this again. These are all staying. I think, okay, I'm sorry, thank goodness, but these games are just more my bag, baby. I think the cheeky little English games gotta die. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, England. So how does this list look? Pretty good, I would say. Now we get to arrange it. Here's where the real spice begins. Well, what would I put at the bottom? Probably, I think Yeah, probably shipwrecked. Just barely squeezes in. I think Helldivers goes up. Ooh. Okay. Where would I put my side? I think it's fine in the middle. Let's do... Okay. I think this goes here. Yup. And then this is Lil Kitty. Kitty is 2 T's. Moron. Do I like my side more than Helldivers 2? I don't think so. Do I like Little Kitty more than Helldivers 2? I don't think so. Do I like EDF 6 more than Helldivers 2? I don't know. Let me think. I think Helldivers edges it out. When that game was on fire, that game was on fucking fire. But I do think Earth Defense Force is more consistent. So, they're interchangeable though, really. And yeah, I think Persona 3 Reload just barely misses the 9s. Okay, now the 9s. Right. Which of these do I like the least? Probably Vengeance. But I like it a lot. Oh boy, this is like picking between your favorite kids, and I say this every year, but it doesn't hurt any less. Fuck. Okay. 9 Souls I like a lot, so it's probably not down here. Maybe Silent Hill 2. $90? Girl. Okay. Crow Country. Do I like Crow Country more than Silent Hill 2? Yes. Do I like it more than Lorelei? Yes, I do. I like Lorelei a lot, but it is extremely esoteric. And you know, sometimes you don't feel like thinking. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Do I like 9 Souls more than Crow Country? I don't think so. I really, really, really like Crow Country. And I really like 9 Souls a lot too. So let's look at this instead. Do I like Animal Well more than those two? I don't think so. I like it a lot, but... Okay, so... Put this here. This is Crow Country. I know this is like the least efficient way to do this, but... No, this is Crow Country. And then it's Animal Well. Now we're getting into the hard stuff. Nun Game. Is Nun Game top? Fuck. I don't think so. Okay. I think okay, so this is Crow Country. This is Nine Souls. So I keep adding the T. It's because I'm thinking about the Nintendo Switch. That's why. Nun Game, Sorry We're Closed, Crow Country, and Nine Souls. I think the Nun Game is beneath Sorry We're Closed, definitely. Okay. I think Crow Country is my favorite game this year, honestly. Yeah. I think so. Crow Country is my game of the year. It is just the perfect package of a game. Plays great, looks great. And again, crazy, because I didn't like the demo. I was like, this is kind of whatever. But for some reason, when I sat down with the full game, I just played it all in one sitting. Could not stop playing it. Man, what a game. Sorry We're Closed is a very, very, very close second, though. Man. This was the year for little cheapy indie games, I guess. Survival horrors with a story, I guess. Man. Some good shit this year. For sure, for sure. Yeah. Exactly 15. We take those. What was last year's? Some like weird number. I don't even think I counted them. I was like, I want all these to fit. Yeah. Look at all these little writings I did. Sorry, we're not gonna go that crazy this year. Maybe 2025 though, when I actually keep up with my list in real time, so I can't lose them in case there's a fire and I lose everything I ever own. That's right. Okay. So there you go. Those are top 15 games for me. I'll post this somewhere. We're gonna quickly go through my anime and music, since I still keep up with those a lot. Music a little less this year, for obvious reasons. I'm pretty sure my album of the year is probably the Charlie album, but I'm gonna remind myself. Forget how you sort on this site. Ratings. Bit more. How do you sort? Release date. That's what we're looking for. Oh yeah, I listened to the Wicked album. Not my favorite, but it was there. Didn't hate it as much as I thought I would. Oh yeah, I listened to a lot of Sadness this year. My god, they released so much music. Look at all this info I'm not gonna fill in. Alas. I guess I can full screen this. Or... wow, now we're computing. Okay. Alright. So, what was that one called? I know, you guys are like, what's a music? Sorry. Check it out sometime if you're bored. If not, I'm not gonna cry. Sadness. Your perfect hands. I like music. Sorry. And I'm a bit of a snob when it comes to music too. So, I know, big surprise, right? After listening to me rant and rave about games for fucking 3 hours straight. Okay. Yeah, this Tierra Whack album sucked. Opeth album was pretty good. Oh yeah, I guess. Oh, yeah, I guess I can archive all of these. We'll just quickly go through. You don't have to sit here and watch me do this. Go through and point out my favorites. The Poppy album was almost really good, but then it wasn't. So I like 2 songs off of it. This album, I have listened to non-fucking stop. I don't know why. There's something about it. I think it's the soundscape. It's just really good. Really like this one. A little industrial hip hop. Yeah. Your girl listens to a lot of music, trust me. What was this one? Didn't even listen to it that long ago. Oh yeah, the Thrash album. Yeah, the Clarence one. Oh, the Cure one. This was crazy. Okay, so the Cure has not released an album. Slub Pop allowed. Yeah, they haven't released like a real album in like fucking, hang on, what's math? 16 years. This thing is crazy good. I don't even like The Cure that much. I mean, I respect them and they have like really good albums. This should not be as good as it is. Insane album. Respect the fuck out of it. Tyler album was pretty good. Halsey album, I'm not as down on it as some people, but it's kind of whatever. This was a cool album. Very hypnotic, I would say. Brat, oh my god, I listened to so much Charlie this year, but I do every year. This Katy album fucking sucks. And okay, I have a thing for like, oh, people really don't like this. I'm gonna check out why. Like, it can't be that bad, right? It is. This is one of those albums that I'm like, damn, this is that bad. Holy fuck. It is like, it's like the fucking audio equivalent of being chloroformed. Like, I start it, and then it's like I wake up an hour later and I'm like, what happened? There is nothing here worth anything. So boring. Band I Like released a new album. That was good. It's like, you know, little goth, little, what was that band? Typo Negative. Little Typo Negative-y. I don't even remember this one. Hang on. Oh yeah, techno album. Magdalena Bay, not my favorite. Not my favorite. I think this is the site's #1, and I tend to agree with the site a lot. Not my favorite. I get it though. I get why people like it. Doechii, love her, kind of a mid album. Sorry. Can't wait for your next one though. I used to watch a lot of Fantano. He used to be how I discovered music. An artist I love and respect released a great album with great art. Just take that in. Love her. Oh, this was a great album too. The Heart Is My Jam. Be bopping to that. Oh yeah, Cupcake finally released something. Good for her. Yeah, I listened to more than I thought I did this year. This album slaps and is ironic. Those are like my two favorite things. She did? Yeah, right? She got signed to a label and then like just, I don't know, counted money for 2 years? I don't know. But this is like a white boy, like, you know, like Beastie Boys mockery. But it's also good. I don't know. It's hard to explain until you listen to it and you're like, this is funny and kind of good. And I don't usually like funny music, so. There's my girl Charlie. Love her. Love her. So much. Love her catalog. Love her music. Not always, you know, not always in love with it completely, but, you know, I like seeing how she evolves. She's always trying new shit. Mad respect to her. I hope she's not a bitch. Knocked Loose album was great. Did you guys see the Knocked Loose shit on, was it Jimmy Fallon or wherever, where like the suburban moms were like, oh my god, you're playing scary music to my child at midnight. If you haven't, I suggest you look it up. It's really good. Great performance too. Really like this Bring Me the Horizon album. I don't know why I rated it a 7. I'll fix that right now. It's an 8. Probably because I only like certain songs, but I really like those songs. The Billie Eilish album was not bad. One of the more tolerable releases from her. And I remember when it came out, I was like, oh, I really like this Birds of a Feather song. They play it on the radio all the fucking time now. So maybe they should ask me what's going to be the next hit record, because I have an ear. Yeah, maybe. Fucking Willow Smith is still making music and still improving. Good for her. The Dua Lipa album sucked. Sorry. Judas Priest is also still making music and it's still good. Somehow, I don't know how the fuck, what is his name? Halford? Rob, how he's even still breathing. But the man's got it. Ariana album, very mid. Very mediocre. Oh well. Great Chelsea Wolfe track though. She's love her too. A lot of great music. Okay, that's it for 2024. Thank you. Let's check out anime. Hang on, I gotta log in somewhere. No peeking. I hope I rated everything recently. I think I did. And then we'll be all done, okay? You can go, wow. She still has good taste. Or you can go, wow, she still has shit taste. That's fine. It's okay. It's okay if you don't like my taste, as long as you like me. It's fine. Gotta log into my password manager because I have good password hygiene and use different passwords for most sites. Seasonals. Alright. Almost done, promise. No erotica or hentai? Come on, dude. Just kidding. Alright. Winter 2025 is what we're in. So I need fall. I need summer. I need spring. And I need winter, right? Okay. Winter, spring, summer, fall. Okay, very good. Alright. Watching, here we are. Okay. Here's what I've watched. I tend to watch a lot of seasonal stuff. Right. Oh, Okay, so this isn't very fair. Frieren concluded in 2024, so that's probably anime of the year, but you know, we love Frieren. Started watching One Piece this year. That's been good. First season of what's her name? Apothecary Diary. Pretty good. Undead Unluck, it's alright. I gave it a 7. Definitely unique. I was super into it in the first few arcs, and then this always happens with these Shonen Jump shows. It's like they go, oh fuck, it's popular. Alright, stop. Hit the brakes. Okay, I gotta stretch this story out like over the course of 3 years, and you can just feel it, and it sucks. But I digress. And picked up Shangri-La. This shit rules. Shangri-La. If you haven't watched Shangri-La, you should probably watch Shangri-La, because it is essentially Sword Art if it wasn't shit. Right? You remember when you watched Sword Art and you watched like the first half of it? You're like, oh man, this is cool. Okay, what if it was just like that all the time? That's Shangri-La. Okay? And your MC is like a himbo. He's this guy with the bird hat. Very funny, very savvy gamer show. Funny characters, very realized world. It's also, unlike Sword Art, the MC plays multiple games. So sometimes he will exit Shangri-La, that's the name of the game, and he will go play a different game to get ideas of things to do in Shangri-La. So it's interesting. It's a very good show. Please watch it. Solo Leveling started really strong, season 1, and then it kind of got stupid. Also, I think it's, as dumb as this sounds, a little hard to follow. You know, there's a lot of like flipping back and forth, and it's like, who the fuck are these characters? Is this like a different world, different timeline? I don't know what's going on. So, not my favorite. Dungeon Meshi. Man, remember when this was on fire and everybody was watching? I do. I think it's kind of boring. It's a shame because I think it looks good, but like, I just am not that interested. And I think the people that compare this to Frieren are disingenuous. IMO. I think this is a sign of affection. Yes. This is very good. This is about your protagonist, this girl in the front. She cannot hear. Deaf, partially deaf, etc. Edgerunners is really good better. And you're sort of following her through her life as she deals with that. And then she's also pursuing a romantic interest. So you're seeing how that impacts her relationship as well. It's very good, and it's a love story that is fairly adult. There's fairly adult things that are happening, unlike most romance shows and anime that I've watched. It's very immature, it's a lot of screaming. Grow the fuck up. Seriously, we're not in school anymore. Shut up. And then I didn't watch these two. Ishura, this was a weird show. This was a light novel, which means it's a story, you know, it's got like hundreds of pages. And it was condensed into like... Yeah, that's true. Yeah, they're not like fucking every episode. But Ishura is condensed into like 12 episodes. So it's trying to set up like fucking 15 characters and a whole like world, and then like different factions, and you're just like, what the fuck is happening most of the time? But I think there's elements of a good show here. So we're watching season 2. I'm gonna see if it picks up. because I do like, it sort of becomes almost a battle royale where you're just like watching these freaks and you're like, oh, what's this freak do? I don't know. What's this freak do? And then you watch the freaks fight. So I like that part. If they can bring it all together, I think this could be good. We'll see. And then last one for winter. Sengoku Yuko. Whatever the fuck. Right. Yes, it is. They act like human beings and not like cliches that scream at each other. That's what I like about it. That's what I mean by adult, because I feel like a lot of... Can you click on it, please? Thank you. A lot of romance stories in anime are very immature. Yeah, right. And that's what I like about it. And then again, you have the wrinkle of a, disabled MC, and I think it really culminates into something nice and pleasant and interesting and unique. This show is mega slept on, at least the first season. It's very Japanese folklore, so if you find that boring, you might be nodding off a couple times, but it does do interesting and dramatic things with its story. It's not afraid to kill off a character, and you're just like, what the fuck? I didn't know that was gonna happen, and it has like massive ramifications on the show. So it's not afraid to tell a story. I feel like a lot of modern manga and anime are afraid to kill a character. Uh-oh, if I kill this character, then I can't sell merch. Dude, just tell me a fucking story. It's not all about the money, okay? Please? I had a second season, which we'll get to in a little bit. I didn't think that was quite as good because I could feel the story compressing like it was in the hyperbolic time chamber, but solid start. Give that one a 7. So, best ones from winter are definitely Sign of Affection and Frieren and Shangri-La. Apothecary is also pretty good. Spring Demon Slayer. Honestly, if you love this show, what's the nicest way I can say this? I don't agree with you. Okay? I don't like this show. I don't. In fact, I don't even know why I'm still watching it. Probably because that last season was pretty good. Right? Is it the hooker one? I can't remember. I gotta remind myself. Pretty cool. Okay, not this one. This one also sucks with the love girl. Yes. This season sucks ass. The current season sucks ass. This is good. It's good. It's not great, but it is good. Is it worth continuing past this? So far, no. If you want to watch just up to this, honestly, if you just want to watch this because the story's not that good to begin with, you can probably do that. Or you can just watch a montage on YouTube. You probably get the same experience. Yeah, I don't understand why Demon Slayer is popular. It is boring. It is ugly. It is not deep. I hate it. Vapid show. Kaiju number 8. Solid. It's about this guy here in the middle. He wants to be a soldier, but is a big loser. And the world is overtaken by, well, kaiju. I forget how exactly, but it sort of becomes Attack on Titan, and he gets the ability to become a kaiju. So that kind of flips things on its head. You get to see him struggle with that dynamic. So So, kind of interesting. Not giving it an 8. It's good. I didn't think it was worth an 8 though. But I feel like I'm kind of more of a stickler than you are. Because I'll sit here and listen to you and you'll be like, oh, this show sucks. And then you'll give it like a 7. And I'm like, what? Slime show. Slime isekai. It's about this guy. He's a slime. He's the king of his village. It just keeps going and going and going. There were good moments here. There were bad moments here. A lot of dead air. That's why I gave it a 6. Not the strongest arc. Not the worst arc. My Hero. Also kind of like Demon Slayer. Not that interesting. Even though you would think with all the shit that's going on, it would be interesting, but it's just not. I don't know how, but The Fable. This was pretty good. This is kind of a surprise. It's about a hitman. It's kind of like Sakamoto Days, actually. It's about a hitman that's retired. And all the hijinks that come along with that. So you'll see him in completely normal slice of life situations, and then he will use his professional expertise to, you know, blend in the best way he can, which a lot of the time just ends up in him pretending to get his ass beat, which is kind of funny. There's also some pretty dark story beats that happen in this too. So it's funny, it's strange, it's interesting. Check it out. Give it a 7, which is what I gave Kaiju. So okay, that's all for spring. Somber. Oh, Somber. Not a good season. Okay, Tower of God. This shit sucks. Actually, this shit actually sucks. Season 1 was kind of good. Interesting. It was a lot of setting up like mysteries, right? And I'm like, okay. This season tries to do that, but doesn't have good writing, doesn't have good animation. Butcher's, I think his name is Kevin Perkins, soundtrack abilities. It's also mixed like insane. Okay, I'm gonna try and give you a preview of what it sounds like. So pretend I am the show and then I'm talking and you can barely hear me. This is what watching Tower of God season 2 is like. And then it'll just stop and then a character will talk for a few seconds and then it'll come back and then you can't hear it. That is what watching that show was like for fucking how many episodes? 13 episodes. Whoever managed the audio on that show should probably be fired. In fucking insane. I don't even know how that made it to TV like that. Next one. What is this one called? I can't remember. No Longer Allowed in Another World. So this is weird. This is like a reverse I mean, it is an isekai. This dude's like a writer. I don't think he's a poet. He gets transferred to another world when he tries to kill himself. So this is the kind of crux of the character. He's in love with this woman and he's like, let's kill ourselves. And she goes, sure. And then he gets like fucking isekai'd before he can kill himself. And then he can't kill himself in this other world. So it's kind of a dark comedy for the first half or so. And then it becomes a serious show. And these characters he's traveling with have their own arcs. And that's what I didn't like as much. But I did like the dark humor of watching him try and kill himself in the most absurd ways and it not working. And then things would try and kill him, but because he's like ingested poison to kill himself and it's not killing him, they would ingest his poison and then die. So it's stupid. but kind of a funny twist. Next is Autry. It's based on a visual novel game. Yeah, it's definitely, this is definitely a good show if you're sick of isekais. I know I am. He eventually does get the power to interact with other isekai people in his other world, and it usually ends up in him ejecting them, which is why the show is called No Longer Allowed in the... So it's kind of funny seeing them be like, you've been un-isekai, bitch. Autry is, like I said, a visual novel. This dude, they live in a world that's mostly covered by water. This man on the side here spelunks and discovers this little lolly android. You know, they bond. He likes her, she likes him, but she's a bot. It's a will they, won't they. So Earth, yes, but even more water. It's like probably 95% water, or at least in the place where they live. Things are revealed, yada yada yada. Futuristic grandma has made Autry, that's the android, and her purpose is revealed, and it's a sad thing. You know how it goes. Water, water. Here's the second season of Sengoku Yuko. Sengoku Yuko, excuse me. Kind of a clusterfuck. Changes the MC. Don't always love the new characters that are introduced. Pacing is kind of all over the place. Probably could have been 2 seasons from this 1 season. Felt like I was like, what the fuck is happening half the time. Yeah, disappointing end to what was a decent start. Okay, and then final, this is the season that just happened. God, Uzumaki. Dandadan. Pretty good. Pretty good. If you are a casual anime watcher, what the fuck just happened? If you are a casual anime watcher and just pick up, you know, like a show a year. Where am I? Help. You should probably watch Dandadan. Is my suggestion. It is ludicrous. It looks beautiful. It's well acted. Very unique premise. I mean, like, the MC here literally loses his penis in, like, the first episode. Or, well, his balls. He loses his balls. So he's trying to get his balls back. Do I have to say more than that? Like, I don't think so. And it just gets more insane. Believe it or not. Yeah. You'll know if you like it from the first episode. And it's only 12 episodes, so... Oh, right. It's a 2-parter. More RE0. Show's getting very boring. Uzumaki. Man, this aggravates me. This could have been a go. This could have been a contender. And then something happened. Whether the director was a perfectionist and wasted too much money, whether Adult Swim just said, we're not giving you any more money. I don't know what the fuck happened, but the first episode was great. And then what is it, 5 episodes? 4 episodes? 4. The other 3 episodes were fucking shit. It's so disappointing. I mean, it's not like the best Junji Ito story I've read, but it is a great starting point. And the fact that this is going to be a lot of people's, like, experience with his work is so fucking cursed. Makes me so mad. Oh well. The rest of these are airing. Oh, and would you believe it? Season 2 still sucks of Tower of God. It was a little better, but only because we were introduced to characters from season 1 again. and not dealing with a god-awful new cast the whole time. So, yeah. Kind of an all over the place. A lot of shit, a lot of good. If I had to pick bests, it would be Sign of Affection, definitely. Freerun, definitely. Dandadan, definitely. Shangri-La, definitely. And what was the other one? Probably Apothecary. What is that, 6? It's like my top 6. So, yeah. There you go. You got your music, you got your anime, you got your games. What more could you want? I didn't watch a lot of TV shows or movies this year, unfortunately. I guess I could check those really quick. Movies. I watched The Substance. That was really good. Long Legs kind of sucks. I think that's it. I only watched a couple movies this year. Maybe I'll watch more movies this year. Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll call it there for today. Thanks for listening to me babble for fucking almost 4 hours. I don't know why. Just kidding. And we'll get back to the normal stuff tomorrow. I think I'm gonna play Ys, Oath and Felghana, and then we'll see. I'm thinking about maybe starting up Yakuza, but oh my god, it's gonna take so long, and there's so many games. I'm gonna have to figure out something. Maybe I'll like play one and then play some other stuff and then play another. I don't know. I'll have to figure out some sort of system, because if I just play Yakuza, that's gonna be like half of my year. There's too many fucking Yakuza games, you know? So, I don't know. I'll figure out something. But in the meantime, thank you so much for hanging out, waiting on me this whole time. I'm getting my energy back. I'm feeling a little better, so we can get back into doing daily streams, I think. So, thanks again. Hope you had fun. It was a pleasure having you this year, and I look forward to many more with you. So, take care, toodaloo, and I will see you tomorrow, okay? Bye-bye.